Chapter 1307. Lu Juning heard concubine Yun's words, and saw the strange look in the eyes of the people around her. She couldn't help but frown. How could something happen to me? Lu Juning looked at concubine Yun. I am blessed with good fortune. My deceased mother will definitely bless me, and let some evil people go to hell. Concubine Yun's face trembled. She let out a long sigh. It's good that you are fine. Ahem. Third Prince Shen Hao stood up. He looked at Lu Juning and said, Actually, Miss Lu didn't go missing at all. I asked her for help, so she temporarily left Tiantai Temple. Third Prince Shen Hao wanted to testify for Lu Juning, so that she wouldn't be humiliated. At the same time, he wanted to leave a good impression in front of Lu Juning. But Lu Juning wasn't moved at all. Her eyes were full of disdain and hatred. Lu Juning couldn't control the urge to strangle this man. Lu Mingxian, who was wearing a veil, saw the third prince she admired testify for Lu Juning. She was angry and jealous. She couldn't help but say, Third prince, why didn't you tell everyone before? Why did you let everyone search so hard for elder sister? I thought something happened to elder sister. As soon as Lu Mingxian spoke, she attracted everyone's attention to herself. The surrounding people discussed animatedly as they pointed at Lu Mingxian. Lu Mingxuan's face was pale. She turned and ran. But her butt was really painful. As soon as she ran, she pulled on the wound. It was so painful that Lu Mingxian felt like she was going to die. Lu Mingxuan's running posture was very strange. Ningshu looked at Lu Juning. Her face was normal. He couldn't tell that she was a Chinese medicine person. He didn't know if she did it, or if she did it in some other way. But so far Lu Juning seemed to be fine. Miss Lu has been with this prince. At this time a man appeared. This man had an imposing figure and a handsome face. He was simply a peerless talent in his generation. Lu Juning saw this man and her face couldn't help but darken. Shen Hao saw him and couldn't help but shout, Imperial Uncle. Imperial Uncle? Ningshu looked at this man. Lu Juning's destined one in this life had appeared. The current emperor's younger brother, third prince's uncle, Chen Yichen. Ningshu couldn't help but rub his chin. It was Lu Juning's destined one who had saved her. She had been cheated so badly in her previous life, and now she had to find a member of the royal family. Was he really that lonely? Who knew what Lu Juning was thinking? Chen Yichen's status was noble, and he was able to suppress that scumbag. To be a firefighter, one had to be of high status. Otherwise, how could they save people? When third Prince Shen Hao saw Chen Yichen, his expression was quite bad. What did Imperial Uncle mean when he said that he had been with second Miss Lu? It's exactly what you think. Chen Yichen said. They drank tea and played chess. After Great Master Mingran finished preaching about Buddhism, he went to Great Master Mingran for fortune-telling. Great Master Mingran can testify to this. Ba, that is indeed the case. Master Mingran bowed and said. With the testimony of Prince Chen and Master Mingran, Lu Juning was naturally fine. Shen Hao's expression was ugly. He felt that what he had done before was for a blind person to see. It was awkward and embarrassing, but he couldn't do anything to Chen Yichen. When he ascended the throne, he would definitely eradicate someone like Chen Yichen, who was a thorn in his side. Chen Yichen's existence was really annoying. Why would Chen Yichen, who had always been indifferent, stand up for Lu Juning? Did he take a fancy to Lu Juning's grandfather's military power, and want to use it to rebel? Chen Yichen coveted the woman he had taken a fancy to. Third Prince Shen Hao's imagination ran wild, and he was full of hostility towards Chen Yichen. Lu Juning didn't seem to like Chen Yichen. She ignored him, turned around, and left with a dark face, intending to leave Tiantai Temple. Chen Yichen looked at Lu Juning's back and said, Second Miss Lu, I will go to the Lu mansion to propose marriage. When Lu Juning heard the word, propose marriage, she staggered and almost tripped over her skirt. Chen Yichen, if you dare to say the word propose marriage, I won't be polite to you. Lu Juning was like an angry cat. Ningshu was speechless. Hey, wasn't she incomparably cold? Why did she become so arrogant? Could it be that the two of them were having an affair? Propose marriage, Chen Yichen said with a straight face and repeated seriously. Propose marriage, propose marriage. The people around were a little stunned. Why did he suddenly jump to the matter of proposing marriage? Prince Chun liked the second miss of the Lu family, but it seemed that the second miss had not reached the age of 15 yet. Third Prince Shenhao's face was dark, and he was very aggrieved. This Prince Chun really wanted to steal the woman he liked. I won't marry you, Prince Chun. I'm not worthy of you. Lu Juning coldly refused, which made the eyes of the women around her turn red. She refused such a man's proposal. Concubine Yun, in particular, seemed to have been struck by lightning. Her daughter's chastity was ruined, and she could only marry the young duke, but Lu Juning was favored by a prince, and a prince with great power. How could people be appeased? Concubine Yun seemed to have pushed her daughter to Chen. Her daughter was better than Lu Juning. Not worthy of you. Chen glanced at the people present. If I say you're worthy of me, then you're worthy of me. Wait at home for me to propose marriage. It's up to you. Anyway, I won't marry you. Lu Juning turned and left. Ning Shu. This was the plot. There was a sentence that he not only had to say, but also had to stick it on his forehead. As a result, these two people had a qualitative breakthrough. Concubine Yun was too ashamed to stay in Tiantai Temple anymore, so she could only leave in disgrace. Before leaving, Monk Mingran also blacklisted the people of the Lu family. He euphemistically said that the people of the Lu family tarnished Buddhism and should not come to worship Buddha. This was very direct. Tiantai Temple was a royal temple, and the Lu family was forbidden to enter. The Lu family would probably be a laughingstock for a long time. Concubine Yun looked terrified. If the master knew about this, he would definitely blame her, and might even deprive her of the housekeeper's authority. Sitting in the sedan, Concubine Yun couldn't help but rub her eyebrows. Too many things had happened on this trip, and everything was not going well. Tiantai Temple was against her. In the future, even if she begged her to come, she would not come. What Master Ming ran, what bullshit monk, helped Lu Juning make false testimony. The sedan swayed back to the Lu family. Before going to Tiantai Temple, it was still very grand. When they came back, the atmosphere couldn't be any lower. When Lu Mingxian returned home, she locked herself in her room and didn't come out. Her butt hurt, and the prince proposed marriage to Lu Juning. She was just a young duke, so Lu Mingxian was in a very bad mood. Envy, jealousy, resentment, and hatred were as deep as the sea. Chapter 1308. Ning Shu returned to his courtyard and couldn't help but stretch. It was really tiring. This trip was worth it. He solved a problem. At least he didn't have to marry Li Yu, that homosexual. He had to marry Lu Mingxian. Lu Yuanfan was a second-rank minister of the Ministry of War. He was in charge of military affairs, provisions and weapons. He had a lot of power. He had defiled the daughter of the minister of the Ministry of War. He couldn't say no. Even if he couldn't marry Lu Mingxian, he couldn't marry another woman from the Lu family. But the bad thing was that Lu Juning and Chen had joined forces. The two of them together could oppress others, and no one could withstand it. Few fortunately misses fine. What happened at Tiantai Mountain was really frightening, Yuan Xiang said. Ning Shu drank tea and said, so when there are many people, don't wander around. It's easy to get into trouble if you wander around. Third Mississippi, Concubine Lu hurried over and looked at Ning Shu. Did the Buddha worship go smoothly this time? Ning Shu shook her head. Something happened, but I'm fine. Why are you here? I was going to take a break and see you. I heard from the people who went to Tiantai Temple that something happened, so I hurried to see you. Concubine Lu breathed a sigh of relief. The madam wants to smash everything in the house, Concubine Lu said. Ning Shu took a sip of tea indifferently. It didn't matter. Anyway, it wasn't her things that were smashed. Concubine Lu asked Ning Shu. Did the madam who went to Tiantai Temple ask about you? Ning Shu shook her head. I don't know. I'm still too early to be of marriageable age. I'll stay with you for a few more years. A concubine's daughter like her didn't have much of a sense of existence. Few madams were willing to marry a concubine's daughter to their son. Generally speaking, a concubine's daughter was usually married to a concubine's son. What do you mean it's too early? It's only 3 or 4 years. The sooner you get engaged, the sooner you can embroider the dowry at home, Concubine Lu said. Ning Shu felt helpless, but she said, Maybe someone will come to propose marriage. After confirming that Ningxu was fine, concubine Lu returned to her courtyard. What happened to Lu Mingxian made Lu Yuanfan fly into a rage. He called everyone in the family together, including his children and concubines. Even Lu Yujing, who usually didn't have much presence, was called over. Everyone stood in the room, trembling with fear, looking at Lu Yuanfan who was sitting on the chair. Lu Yuanfan's face was calm as he sipped his tea. He was panting slightly, clearly trying his best to suppress the anger in his heart. Everyone lowered their heads, not daring to look at Lu Yuanfan. Lu Yuanfan had a stubble, and his aura was very strong. Lu Juning's expression was indifferent. Upon closer inspection, one could see a mocking expression on her face. Ningxu and Lu Yujing stood at the back with their heads bowed. Master. Concubine Yun cautiously called out. Bang! Lu Yuanfan smashed the teacup in his hand onto the ground. Pieces of the teacup flew everywhere, and smoke rose from the tea leaves and water. Ah! Concubine Yun was so scared that she screamed. Everyone else was so scared that their faces turned ashen. Lu Yujing, who was beside Ningxu, was so scared that her whole body spasmed. She almost fell to the ground. Ningxu reached out and grabbed her arm, stabilizing her body. Lu Yuanfan scanned everyone present and roared loudly. Where is Lu Mingxian? Where the hell did she go? Lu Yuanfan's voice was like thunder, exploding in everyone's ears. Master, Mingxian is not feeling well. She is resting. Concubine Yun said softly with a trembling expression. Liu was very violent. At that time, under the influence of the drug, her heart was only filled with lust. In addition, she entered from the back without any lubrication at all. Lu Mingxuan's body was severely injured. Since returning, she had been lying in bed and hadn't eaten much. She was afraid that she would excrete and hurt her wound. Rest? How can she still have the face to live? Send her to the family temple to rest. Master, you can't do this to Mingxian. She was framed. Moreover, the Marquis Fu has already agreed to marry her. Concubine Yin begged. Framed her? There are so many people who didn't frame her, but framed her alone. Immoral. Do you think the Marquis Fu is willing to marry a virtuous daughter-in-law? Lu Yuanfan roared. It's true. Madame Li said that she would agree on a date. Concubine Yun would never allow her precious daughter to be sent to a bitter-cold family temple to live a life that was neither human nor ghost. Her life would be over like this. Lu Yuanfan took a deep breath. She was forbidden by Great Master Ming Ran from going to Tiantai Temple to worship Buddha. This is the daughter you taught to do such an immoral thing. The emperor goes to Tiantai Temple every year to worship. My family has been criticized by Great Master Ming Ran like this. Where do you want me to put my face? Where do you want me to put my face? When I go to court tomorrow, I don't know how the people in court will laugh at me. Master. Concubine Yin knelt on the ground. There were pieces of teacup on the ground, which pricked Concubine Yun's leg. The Marquis Fu said that they will marry Mingxian. Lu Yuanfan rubbed between his eyebrows. It's really worrisome. What's going on between you and Prince Chen? Lu Yuanfan looked at Lu Juning. Lu Juning's expression was cold. Nothing. If not, why did you say that you want to propose marriage in front of so many people? Do you have something to do with Prince Chen? Lu Yuanfan was so angry that he didn't know what to say. When Lu Juning heard this, her expression immediately became very ugly. Father, please mind your words. Lu Juning called Lu Yuanfan father, not the more intimate father. Lu Yuanfan was stunned for a moment. Ningxu looked at Lu Juning. Lu Juning's face was livid. Did something happen between Lu Juning and Prince Chen? Was that why she was so angry? With the powder she made, it was not so easy to detoxify. They must have had physical contact. If the two of them had physical intimacy, then there would be nothing that could stop the raging flames of love. Ningxu breathed a sigh of relief in his heart, feeling very unwilling in his heart. Instead, he helped the two of them. The original owner's wish was not to marry Li Yu and not to be framed. Now she had avoided this round of framing, but there might be a next time. As long as Lu Mingxian and Li Yu didn't get married, this matter would not be over. Lu Juning said coldly, I have nothing to do with Prince Chen, so don't think about putting me together with Prince Chen. After saying that, Lu Juning turned around and left, her back cold and arrogant. Lu Yuanfan was a little stunned and didn't know what to say for a moment. His face darkened. Master, concubine Yun called carefully. Manage the affairs of the family well. If there is a next time, you have to take care of the affairs of the family. Forget it. Lu Yuanfan waved his hand. And all of you calm down. Recently, have you really blasphemed Buddhism? Lu Yuanfan wanted to hold a religious ceremony. Yes. Everyone hurriedly saluted. Chapter 1309. All right, all of you leave. Lu Yuanfan let out a long sigh. He looked very tired. Lu Yujing was so scared that she couldn't walk. Ningxu reached out to help her out of the courtyard. Lu Yujing said in fear. Third sister, it's so scary. It's okay. Ningxu said. How can it be okay? After something like this happened to eldest sister, what will we do when we talk about marriage in the future? Lu Yujing said worriedly. Lu family's reputation has been ruined by eldest sister. No one will come to our family to propose marriage. Ningxu didn't know what to say. In this ancient era where everything could be implicated, one person's actions would affect the entire family. Third sister, what should we do? Lu Yujing looked at Ningxu. And you're older than me. Ningxu. So ancient children matured early. A 10-year-old child could think of these things. When the boat reaches the bridge, it'll cross the bridge. Ningxu said casually. Lu Yujing, whose body was weak and full of worry, was helped back by the nanny. Concubine Lu, Ningxu said. This time, madam. Ningxu knew what concubine Lu wanted to say. This time concubine Yun might lose her position as the housekeeper. Letting a concubine manage the backyard already caused rumors. This time going to Tiantai Temple was a mess. Her daughter even lost her chastity before marriage. Sure enough, not long after thinking about it, she still couldn't swallow the anger and didn't let concubine Yun manage the backyard. She still handed over the backyard to her legitimate daughter Lu Juning. Lu Juning took over the power that was delivered to her door. The first thing she did was to move away the luxurious decorations in concubine Yun's room. Because these decorations were beyond the standard of a concubine. At the same time, she also took away the things in Lu Mingxuan's room. Many of them were her mother's dowry. They were taken over by this shameless mother and daughter. Lu Mingxian was lying on the bed, watching these people move away the things in the room, the exquisite double-sided embroidered screen, the white jade decorations, and the luxurious jewelry. Lu Juning, I will never live under the same sky as you in this life. Lu Mingxian glared hatefully at Lu Juning, who was standing in the room directing the servants to move things. Lu Juning looked at Lu Mingxian coldly. She raised her chin slightly and looked down at Lu Mingxian on the bed. Big sister, you still have to take good care of your body. Lu Juning said with a slight smile. Lu Mingxian was despised by such a gaze. As if she was a piece of trash so lowly. Lu Mingxuan's heart was filled with hatred. It's you. You framed me. Lu Mingxian gripped the blanket so tightly that her knuckles turned white. Big sister, what are you talking about? I don't understand at all. Big sister needs to recuperate, and then join the Marquis's mansion in a grand manner. Lu Juning said coldly. Lu Juning felt that this matter was very strange and suspicious. In her previous life, he was supposed to be Lu Yueyun's husband, but now he was involved with Lu Mingxian. Things had changed. Well, she didn't have anything to do with that Prince Chun in her previous life, but in this life, Lu Juning didn't want to think about what happened that day. After being drugged with the aphrodisiac, she threw herself at a man, but she didn't know that it was Prince Chun. Many things had changed. Put the things down, put them down. Lu Jinghui held the slingshot and shot the hand that was moving the things. You bad woman, put down my mother's and sister's things. Lu Jinghui shouted at Lu Juning fiercely and pointed the slingshot at Lu Juning. Lu Juning looked indifferent. If I were you, I wouldn't shoot the marbles, because now I'm in charge of the backyard and can talk to father. If you continue to be so naughty, I'll ask father to find you more than 3 teachers to teach you. You are the only male heir of the Lu family and will inherit the Lu family in the future. So you must be very, very promising to make father satisfied. You. Lu Jinghui was flustered and exasperated. He wanted to shoot the marbles, but he didn't dare to. More than 3 teachers. Lu Jinghui couldn't imagine more than 3 teachers. Jinghui, this is between big sister and her. Don't get involved. Lu Mingxian said to Lu Jinghui. Lu Mingxian understood that now she and her mother were at a disadvantage, and Lu Jinghui was her and her mother's support. A man shouldn't be involved in a backyard fight, even if Lu Jinghui was only a 7 or 8-year-old boy. Big sister. Lu Jinghui shouted indignantly. Get out! Under the pressure of the 3 teachers, Lu Jinghui could only leave. Lu Juning looked at Lu Jinghui's back and narrowed her eyes slightly, obviously thinking about something. Big sister, have a good rest. Lu Juning saw that most of the things in the house had been moved out, so she left after saying this. Lu Mingxian clenched her fists. Even if she had to risk her life, she would drag Lu Juning down to hell with her. She was already like this, so she wouldn't let Lu Juning have an easy time. Just because you're the daughter of the first wife, you're incomparably noble, so I'll trample your pride into the mud. Because you're too annoying. Lu Juning's power didn't change Ningxu much. There shouldn't be much change. What he didn't have was still nothing. Ningxu stayed in the yard embroidering and occasionally received the worried Lu Yujing. Lu Yujing looked as if the sky was falling down, so Ningxu didn't know what to say. It was useless to worry. Instead of worrying, it was better to calm down and make a few more embroidery pieces and sell them for more money. Instead of looking forward to the future in-laws, it was better to save money to survive. With money in hand, no matter what happened, they could deal with it. Ningxu didn't look forward to marriage, so he didn't have any scruples and didn't care. Ningxu looked at the embroidery in his hand. It was a lifelike begonia flower. During this time, Ningxu didn't embroider anything else, only the begonia flower. In this way, Ningxu's needlework skills became more and more proficient. Lu Yujing's learning speed became slower and slower. She was still young, so he didn't know what to worry about. Who knew what would happen in the future? Moreover, there were still many years before Lu Yujing's hairpin ceremony. It was too far-fetched to think about what would happen in a few years. Ningxu didn't want Lu Yujing to come to his yard. She always had a sad face, which made him feel uncomfortable. In addition to staying in Ningxu's yard, Lu Yujing also occasionally went to curry favor with Lu Juning. She looked quite sad. It wasn't easy for anyone to live. Lu Juning was the 3rd prince's wife in her previous life. She managed the matters of the mansion and became the empress. She managed the matters of the backyard in an orderly manner. Lu Yuanfan, who was in an extremely bad mood, planned to let his daughter manage the backyard if there was one thing that he liked. Concubine Yun and Lu Yujing didn't have any privileges anymore. Everything was like an ordinary concubine and concubine's daughter. It was easy to go from frugality to extravagance, but hard to go from extravagance to frugality. The two felt very uncomfortable with their current life. Lu Manor was very calm, but there was a kind of calm before the storm, which made people feel very depressed. Chapter 13:10. Madame Li of the Hofu brought her son to propose marriage to Lu family's eldest Miss Lu Mingxian. She came with a lot of dowry and was quite arrogant. Lu Yuanfan didn't even think about it and agreed. After all, a daughter who had lost her chastity could marry Hofu. It was the greatest value, and it would save Lu family's face as much as possible. Both of them were in love and couldn't help but sound better. Concubine Yin was suppressed by Lu Juning during this period of time. She used to flaunt her power in the manor, but now that she was gone, everyone didn't put her in their eyes. Now that Hofu finally came to propose marriage to her daughter, Concubine Yin immediately ran to Lu Yuanfan and tactfully proposed that she wanted to manage the harem. As a result, she was scolded by Lu Yuanfan, and Concubine Yin was scolded to the point of crying. Concubine Yin was so angry that her whole body trembled, and she couldn't wait to tear Lu Juning apart. But now she had to prepare the dowry for her daughter. When preparing the dowry, there was nothing that could be taken out. The good things from before were all taken away by Lu Juning. Concubine Yin had to take out her private storehouse to make up the dowry for her daughter. Lu Mingxian rarely went out of the courtyard. If she wasn't taking care of her body, she was embroidering the dowry. Although she couldn't get back the housekeeper position, her daughter married the eldest son of the Hofu, which could be considered as venting her anger, and could block some unpleasant words in the manor. Daughter, hurry up and embroider the dowry. Concubine Yin said to Lu Mingxian. The date is set in a hurry, hurry up. Lu Mingxuan's whole person was listless, and there was no joy of getting married. Mother, I feel that something is wrong. I don't want to marry Li Yu. Lu Mingxian said. What are you saying? If you don't want to marry Li Yu, who do you want to marry? You can only marry Li Yu. Don't be willful. Concubine Yin said angrily. Li Yu is not bad, he looks good, his family background is good, and he doesn't have any bad habits, and he didn't make any trouble. Concubine Yin persuaded her daughter. Since it's decided, don't think about it. Daughter, you have no way out, or you can only marry Li Yu. Lu Mingxian sighed. It's all because of Bitao, that cheap girl, it's all because of Bitao, together with Lu Juning to harm me. Oh right, where's Bitao? Concubine Yin asked. Lu Mingxian shook her head. I haven't seen her since I came back. I think Lu Juning has already dealt with her. All right, let's embroider the dowry. I have to keep an eye on Lu Juning. It wouldn't be good if she ruined your marriage. Concubine Yin said. Lu Mingxuan's expression was indifferent. Thinking of the handsome third prince, Lu Mingxuan's heart turned cold. She liked the third prince, not Li Yu. So now that she was going to marry Li Yu, it had nothing to do with the third prince. Lu Mingxian felt that it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be. She wanted to be with the third prince. Ningxu knew that the Marquis mansion had come to propose marriage to Lu Mingxian. Ningxu let out a sigh of relief in his heart. Now he just had to wait for the marriage. Usually, other than embroidery, Ningxu would also write some self-defense powder, such as knockout powder. The world was very dangerous. He had to have the power to protect himself. If Lu Yueyin came back, he would make these powder and have some power to protect himself. Third sister, third sister. Lu Yujing happily came to find Ningxu. Ningxu was embroidering roses. He didn't even raise his head and asked, What made you so happy? Lu Yujing walked over. Looking at the embroidery in Ningxu's hands, she asked, What flower is this? How come I have never seen it before? Why does it look like it's about to bloom? It's even more beautiful when it's about to bloom. What made you so happy? Ningxu asked. Big sister is going to marry into the Marquis mansion. Lu Yujing sat down and said. Ningxu looked at her. Not long ago she looked like the sky was falling down. Now she was so happy. Ningxu thought of duckweed, rootless duckweed. When the lake was calm, the duckweed would grow steadily. If the lake was turbulent, the duckweed would shake. It would not be peaceful. And the water plants that took root could not only absorb the nutrients in the soil, they could also hold on tightly to the ground. Ningxu used a needle to pierce the cloth and said with a smile, It's not like you are going to marry into the Marquis mansion. Why are you so happy? I am a concubine's daughter. How can I marry into the Marquis mansion? Third sister is joking. What I mean is that once big sister marries, it will not tarnish the Lu family's reputation. When the time comes, we will also have people to propose marriage. Ningxu sighed. That was someone else's life. No matter how good the Lu family's reputation was, it might not benefit you. The Lu family's reputation was bad. They would definitely be implicated. It was just that unfair. The hairpin on your head is not bad. Ningxu looked at the hairpin on Lu Yujing's hair. It was made of silver and had a dancing butterfly. The butterfly's wings were as thin as a cicada's. As it moved, the wings would tremble. It looked like it was about to spread its wings and fly. Silver was not very valuable, but the craftsmanship made this hairpin very valuable. With Lu Yujing's situation, she should not be able to own this hairpin. Lu Yujing touched the hairpin on her head and said with a smile, Is it pretty? Ningxu nodded. It's pretty. Where did it come from? Ningxu asked. Oh, it's something my mother left behind. Lu Yujing said. Ningxu made a sound of acknowledgement. Lu Yujing and Ningxu talked for a while before leaving. Ningxu continued to embroider. Miss, something happened to Mississippi. Yuan Xiang panted as she entered the room. She did not even have time to bow and stammered. Miss, something big happened. What happened? Ningxu put down the embroidery and asked. Something happened to fifth young master. Fifth young master is sick. Yuan Xiang calmed down. Lu Jinghui was sick? He was usually lively and lively. Everyone in the Marquis mansion would take a detour when they saw him. He was the devil incarnate. How could he be sick? What illness? Ningxu asked. It's smallpox. Fifth young master's courtyard has been quarantined. Yuan Xiang said. Smallpox. In this era, smallpox was a disease with a slim chance of survival. If one survived, they would never get smallpox again. If they could not survive, they would die. Lu Jinghui had smallpox all of a sudden. Ningxu tidied up and went to Lu Jinghui's courtyard to take a look. Miss, that's smallpox. How can you go? Besides, the courtyard has been quarantined. I'll just go and take a look. Ningxu said. At the entrance of Lu Jinghui's courtyard, there were many people standing there. My son Jinghui. Concubine Yun cried until her body went limp. She was supported by the servant girl beside her. Her expression was extremely sorrowful. Lu Mingxian, who was embroidering the dowry in the courtyard, also came out. She stood guard at the entrance of the courtyard, looking extremely worried. Basically, the whole family was guarding here. Ningxu lowered his head and walked over, standing there obediently. Lu Yuanfan kept looking into the courtyard with a worried expression. Chapter 13:11. It was fine if they didn't have a legitimate son, but now their only male son was diagnosed with smallpox. Was the Lu family going to die out? If these daughters were replaced with sons, how good would that be? Lu Juning stood there coldly, her expression indifferent. Woof woof. There was the sound of a puppy whimpering at the foot of the wall. Ningxu turned his head and saw a small puppy at the foot of the wall. Ningxu was a bit puzzled. Where did this dog come from? Lu Juning said to the servant girl beside her. Find someone to take that dog away. Yes. Ningxu asked Lu Juning. Second sister, where did this dog come from? Lu Juning shook her head. Fifth brother is naughty. He saw a dog vendor on the street and insisted on buying a dog. Oh, Ningxu replied. She watched as the servant carried the puppy away. Ningxu looked at the puppy. The puppy stuck out its tongue and breathed. Ningxu slightly narrowed his eyes and touched Yuan Xiang's foot. Yuan Xiang looked at Ningxu in confusion. Ningxu whispered in her ear. Follow that servant and see how he deals with the dog. Don't touch the dog, okay? Yuan Xiang nodded and chased after him without leaving a trace. Everyone's attention was on the courtyard. In addition, there were many people here. Naturally, no one noticed Yuan Xiang. When the doctor came out of the courtyard, Lu Yuanfan immediately asked, Is it really smallpox? The doctor nodded. It's really smallpox. Lu Yuanfan couldn't help but close his eyes. Please try your best to save my son. The reward can be discussed. I'll try my best, the doctor said. The child cannot be taken care of without someone. Find someone who can take care of the child. Concubine Yun almost fainted from crying. Lu Mingxian turned her head and looked at Lu Juning. It's you. It must be you who harmed my brother. It must be you. Lu Juning, you are so cruel. Lu Mingxian threw herself at Lu Juning. Lu Juning avoided Lu Mingxian and coldly said, I don't know what you are talking about. Don't blame me if anything happens. It's you. Lu Mingxian stared at Lu Mingxian with bloodshot eyes. You want to take revenge on me? What does that have to do with my brother? Her younger brother was her and her mother's support. Even if she married into the Marquis' estate, her younger brother would still be her support. In the future, when her younger brother inherits the Lu family, she can also straighten her back in the Marquis' household, have the confidence, and have the support of her maternal family. Big sister, tell me, why should I take revenge on you? Lu Juning looked at her coldly. Enough. What are you doing? Scram. What are you doing here? Lu Yuanfan rubbed his forehead and roared at Lu Mingxian. Father, it must be Lu Juning who harmed little brother. It's really her. Lu Mingxian said bitterly. She knelt on the ground and grabbed Lu Yuanfan's clothes. Dad, please believe me. Your little brother is lying inside right now. What is more important than your little brother's life? Scram, don't crowd around here. Lu Yuanfan was so angry that he kicked Lu Mingxian away. Lu Mingxian was kicked in the chest and felt a piercing pain. Mingxian, Concubine Yun quickly helped Lu Mingxian up from the ground and stared at Lu Juning with hatred. Lu Juning didn't look at her and turned to leave. Ningxu also left and returned to his courtyard to wait for Yuan Xiang to return. He didn't know if Lu Jinghui could hold on. Ningxu felt a bit uncertain. The smallpox incident this time was very sudden. Ningxu drank tea while waiting for Yuan Xiang. After a while, Yuan Xiang returned. Ningxu asked, "How did you deal with it?" "Killed it and buried it," Yuan Xiang said. Ningxu stood up and asked, "Where is it buried? Bring me to see it." "Okay." Yuan Xiang brought Ningxu to a remote courtyard near the backyard. Yuan Xiang pointed at the grass. "Miss, it's buried here." Ningxu used a wooden stick to push the soil away. Looking at the little puppy's corpse, he moved closer to smell it. The stick poked at the little puppy's corpse and poked at the little puppy's tongue. The puppy's tongue was red and some parts were bleeding. "Miss, what are you doing?" Yuan Xiang saw Ningxu squatting and poking at the dog's corpse with a stick. No matter how she looked at it, she felt her hair stand on end. Ningxu buried the dog with soil. "Let's go back." After returning to the room, Ningxu asked for medicinal powder to wipe his hands. He didn't want his shoes or anything else. He also asked Yuan Xiang to wash her hands with boiling vinegar. Ningxu let out a long breath. The world was too dangerous. There was definitely something wrong with this dog. This was to cut off Concubine Yun and Lu Mingxuan's escape route. Lu Jinghui was Lu Mingxian and Concubine Yun's escape route. In the backyard, the child was the woman's support. Men put so many women in the backyard for two reasons. First, it was for sex. Second, it was for more children. But don't underestimate a woman's jealousy. Men probably didn't think that the more women there were, the fewer children there would be. Children were the victims and consumables of the backyard struggle. Even women themselves were prepared to consume their children. Lu Juning probably wanted Lu Mingxian and Concubine Yun to have a taste of losing their children. Ningxu wiped his hands. He didn't know how Lu Juning would deal with her. There was also the marriage between Lu Mingxian and Li Yu. Few people knew that Li Yu liked men. For outsiders, Li Yu was a man with good conditions. Would Lu Juning let Lu Mingxian marry Lu Juning? Ningxu rubbed his head. He didn't know how far Lu Juning would go. After the Marquis's mansion came to propose marriage, Prince Chen Yichen also came to propose marriage. The scale of the proposal was much larger than that of the Marquis's mansion. Boxes of things were carried into the Marquis's mansion. The courtyard was full. Prince Chen Yichen personally came to propose marriage, but was rejected by Lu Juning. As a result, Prince Chen directly stayed in Lu's mansion. If she didn't agree, he wouldn't leave. He also threatened Lu Juning that if she didn't agree, he would tell her about their relationship. Lu Juning was so angry that she was about to explode. But she couldn't do anything to Prince Chen. Her father even politely let him stay in Lu's mansion. Ningxu thought, haha, damn it. Anyway, since he had taken Lu Juning's body, he would only have Lu Juning in this life. No matter what Lu Juning did, she would follow her loyally like a loyal dog. In her previous life, she met a scumbag. In this life, she would reward a loyal and affectionate man. And it would be for a lifetime. During this period, Prince Chen didn't have any concubines. It was as if he was waiting for Lu Juning. To be honest, was there really something wrong with Prince Chen's body? He didn't even have a concubine. Miss, there have been a lot of good things in Lu's mansion recently. First Miss and Second Miss have both been proposed marriage, and each of them has a higher status than the other. Is it your turn next? Yuan Xiang poured tea for Ningxu, looking happy. Ningxu embroidered lilies this time. She said casually, it's still early. Things wouldn't end like this. Lu Juning wouldn't end like this. She had to protect herself and concubine Lu in this precarious time. First Miss and Second Miss both have families. Miss must be next. Yuan Xiang said. What you see is only a false prosperity. Ningxu muttered. Chapter 13:12. No one knew how long this prosperity would last. Lu Juning wanted to destroy the Lu family. In her previous life, after the third prince ascended the throne, the Lu family flourished and had 2 empresses. However, Lu Juning's maternal grandfather's family was executed. Even the infant child was not spared. The evidence of treason was provided by Lu Yuanfan. Therefore, Lu Juning would not let the Lu family off. She wanted to destroy the Lu family bit by bit. Ningxu could understand the scum's actions. The emperor did not want to see the great general holding military power. If he allowed others to sleep peacefully beside him, he would have to constantly be on guard against rebellion. If that happened, the emperor's throne would be gone. Lu Yuanfan grasped the opportunity and understood what the emperor was thinking. This was politics. Marriage was unreliable. When the interests were aligned, everyone would hold hands and be good friends. However, when the interests were against each other, they would give up. Lu Yuanfan knew that the emperor was dissatisfied with his Yu family. The two families were in-laws. If something happened to the great general's residence, the Lu family would be implicated. Yuan Xiang did not understand what Ningxu was talking about. She poured Ningxu another cup of tea and stood at the side to watch Ningxu embroider. Mrs. Needlework is getting better and better. Yuan Xiang praised. Ningxu held the embroidery and looked left and right. She nodded. It's pretty good. I'm really good. Ha ha ha. Lu Yujing would visit Ningxu from time to time. Ningxu saw that she was always wearing exquisite jewelry. The fabric on her body was also better than before. Ningxu raised his eyebrows. Was this also her mother's dowry? Ningxu was too lazy to ask Lu Yujing where these things came from. Recently, Lu Yujing and Lu Juning were closer. What did Lu Juning want to do? Ningxu asked Lu Yujing. You. What's wrong? Lu Yujing asked. She was holding a brush and writing. The silver bracelet on her wrist was very exquisite. Ningxu wanted to tell Lu Yujing to be careful, but he did not know what to say. Should he just tell her to be careful of Lu Juning? Who knew if Lu Yujing would tell these words to Lu Juning or not? Ningxu felt that Lu Juning had been suspecting her since the incident at Tiantai Temple, but there was no evidence to prove that she had done it. Moreover, Ningxu looked at the silver bracelet on Lu Yujing's wrist. Lu Yujing was currying favor with Ning Juning and Lu Juning. It was hard to guarantee that she wouldn't say anything for the sake of benefits. It's nothing. You wrote it wrong, Ningxu said lightly. Am I wrong? That's right. Ningxu continued to embroider. Lu Yujing asked Ningxu, third sister, have you seen Prince Chen? Ningxu nodded. Sometimes when he went out for a stroll in the courtyard, he would meet Prince Chen, who was really a handsome man. He had a noble status and was loyal to Lu Juning. She fell in love with him after sleeping with him? Ningxu's heart didn't waver at all when he saw the two of them showing off their love. Damn it! Lu Juning was still cold to Chen Yichen, but Ningxu could see that the two of them were having an affair. A strong woman was afraid of a pestering man. Was it really good to let Chen Yichen, an outsider, live in Lu's mansion? Yes, Ningxu said lightly. To be honest, Ningxu felt that Chen Yichen was an innocent bystander. Just because he slept with Lu Juning, he wanted to dedicate his body and mind to Lu Juning. He got involved in Lu Juning's grievances, became Lu Juning's protection, cleaned up the mess for Lu Juning, and slapped the scum in the face together, so that Lu Juning could do things unscrupulously. He was like a puppet. Yes, Ningxu felt like a puppet. Because her husband was unfaithful in her previous life, she had a loyal man in this life. Prince Chen is so good to second sister, but second sister is still cold to Prince Chen, Lu Yujing said. The harder it is to get something, the more precious it is. The more chips you pay, the more reluctant you are to give it up, just like the chips on the gambling table. Ningxu said lightly. Otherwise, how can it show that Prince Chen is good to second sister? If she was cheap, others would also be cheap to her. Lu Yujing nodded as if she didn't understand. I hope my future husband can be so good to me. Ningxu curled her lips. It's better to be good to yourself than to expect others to be good to you. Ningxu never wronged herself. If others were good to her, she would be good to them. If others wanted to kill her, she would definitely kill them. No one could guarantee that they would be good to a person for a lifetime, but they could guarantee that they would be good to themselves for a lifetime. It depended on how they lived. Third sister, what are you thinking in your head? Lu Yujing asked in bewilderment. You're different from what we're thinking. It's not the same. I always treat others with kindness. and then expect them to repay me with kindness. If they don't repay me, I will be disappointed and desperate. If you treat yourself with half of this kindness, you won't be like this. She didn't love herself and expected others to love her. If she didn't expect to be rewarded, resentment would arise. To Ning Shu, it was purely a case of mental illness. After staying in the hospital for more than 10 years, Ning Shu thought about relieving her pain every day. No one could do it for her. No one could relieve the pain of chemotherapy for her. Neither the doctors nor her family could. Ning Shu was most afraid of chemotherapy. The pain was like inserting a needle into the bone. It was so painful that she wanted to die. Ning Shu didn't let herself think about chemotherapy. Every time she had chemotherapy, she would say in her heart that pain meant that she was alive and could see the world for one more day. She tried to make herself happy. Ning Shu hadn't thought about the past for a long time. She had traveled through so many worlds and seen so much resentment. It made Ning Shu feel that she had to love herself more. No one was good to her. She just had to be good to herself. She begged for others' love. That was a pet. If others treated her well, she would be grateful. If others didn't treat her well, she would make them feel even worse to please herself. Ning Shu smiled as she embroidered. It's getting late. Third sister, I'm going back. Lu Yujing said. Ning Shu nodded and looked at Lu Yujing's back. Yuan Xiang said, Miss, why do I feel that fourth miss has changed? Yes, she has changed. She has become more confident and confident. The Lu Yujing of the past was submissive. Yuan Xiang nodded. I have this feeling. How did fourth miss change like this? Ning Shu didn't say anything. Lu Yujing's confidence came from her jewelry, clothes, and her close relationship with Lu Juning, who was now in charge of the backyard. Everyone had their own fate. Ning Shu didn't want to say anything. By the way, how is fifth brother? Ning Shu asked. Lu Jinghui's courtyard had always been closed. Almost no one dared to go near it. Yuan Xiang shook her head. I heard that it's still not good. He has a recurring fever. I heard that when he has a fever, his whole body will convulse. Concubine Yin has always been taking care of fifth young master. Then the situation is not optimistic. Ning Shu supported her chin and said. Chapter 13:13. Ning Shu couldn't intervene in this kind of thing. If he could survive the smallpox, then he could live. If he couldn't, young miss, it will be eldest miss wedding day soon. If fifth young master's illness doesn't get better, then eldest miss wedding will be difficult. Yuan Xiang sighed like an old man. Yes, eldest sister's wedding is near. Ning Shu pondered. If her brother was in this state, then it wouldn't be good for him to get married at this time. Ning Shu, damn it. In the middle of the night, Ning Shu went to Lu Jinghui's courtyard. He climbed over the wall and jumped onto the roof to see Lu Jinghui's condition. Opening the roof, Ning Shu saw Lu Jinghui on the bed. His face was ashen and his breathing was rapid. His face was covered in chicken pox. Just by looking at his face, Ning Shu felt that Lu Jinghui might not be able to endure. Dogs had so many bacteria and smallpox. Lu Jinghui was just a child and his immune system was weak. Concubine Yin stayed by the bed and kept wiping her tears. Ning Shu left the courtyard and returned to his room. Ning Shu opened his makeup box. There were some jewelry and silver inside. These were all his family assets. Ning Shu covered the box and hid it. Then he sat cross-legged on the bed and cultivated. In the end, Lu Jinghui didn't endure and passed away a few days later. Because of his age, Lu Jinghui died young. He didn't even have a funeral. Lu Jinghui was buried in a coffin. Lu Yuanfan's broad back was bent. Concubine Yin fainted from crying. The Lu family didn't even have a male heir. Their eldest daughter was about to get married. The Lu family didn't even have a male heir. Lu Yuanfan's cheeks were tightly clenched. His face was trembling. Ning Shu looked at Lu Juning. Lu Juning's expression was still cold. After Lu Jinghui was buried, Lu Yuanfan fell ill and didn't go to court for a few days. Anyway, the atmosphere in the Lu family was very strange. Concubine Yun's hair was white. Every time she looked at Lu Juning, her eyes were like they were dipped in poison. Ning Shu felt that Concubine Yun wanted to perish together with Lu Juning. After Lu Jinghui's funeral, it was time for Lu Mingxuan's wedding. Red lanterns were gradually hung in the house. After the funeral, it was time to do something red to wash away the bad luck. However, they didn't do it on a grand scale. Lu Mingxian was escorted onto the bridal sedan. Seeing Li Yu riding a tall horse to marry Lu Mingxian, Ningxu heaved a sigh of relief. Amidst the sounds of firecrackers, Lu Mingxian boarded the bridal sedan chair and headed in the direction of the Marquis's estate. She finally didn't have to marry Li Yu. Ningxu stretched lazily. Living in this palm-sized place was really tiring, really tiring. With one less person, the Lu residence became much quieter. However, after Lu Mingxian married Li Yu, she was supposed to return home 3 days later, but she didn't. Lu Juning, I'm going to kill you. You'll die a horrible death. A roar came from Lu Mingxuan's courtyard. Immediately after, a woman rushed out. She was wearing a wedding dress, but it was very wrinkled and had some dust on it. Her hair was also messy and she was glaring fiercely at Lu Juning. Ningxu was stunned when he saw this woman, because this woman was Lu Mingxian. Shouldn't Lu Mingxian be in the Marquis's estate? Lu Mingxuan's sudden appearance stunned the Lu family. Mingxian, why are you here? Concubine Yun's face was pale. Mother. Lu Mingxian sobbed and hugged Concubine Yun, unable to speak. What's going on? Lu Yuanfan flipped the table. Lu Yujing, that bitch took my place. She pretended to be me. Lu Mingxuan's voice was bleeding. They tied me up and stuffed me under the bed. I watched that bitch Lu Yujing take my place. Lu Juning, I'm going to kill you. Lu Mingxian rushed towards Lu Juning, crying blood and looking painful and desperate. However, Lu Juning had a protector by her side. Prince Chun Chinichen kicked Lu Mingxian away. Lu Mingxian spat out a mouthful of blood. Concubine Yun hugged Lu Mingxian and looked at Lu Juning calmly and crazily. Ningxu was shocked. What happened? Lu Yujing took Lu Mingxuan's place and married into the Lord Protector's manor. How could he do such an unimaginable thing? Lu Yujing was only 10 years old. She married a homosexual at the age of 10 and ended the rest of her life. Judging from Lu Mingxuan's words, Lu Yujing was willing. Ningxu couldn't help but close his eyes. He didn't know what to say. Lu Yujing married at such a young age in order to fight for glory and wealth. He didn't expect there to be such a twist. Ningxu couldn't help but look at Lu Juning. Her expression was indifferent. When she stood with Chun Yichen, they looked like an immortal couple. He could not only prevent Lu Mingxian from marrying Li Yu, but also put the entire Lu family on the charcoal fire and poured oil on it. The Lord Protector's manor would definitely ask the Lu family for an explanation about the marriage. They might not be able to be in-laws, and they might even become enemies. Sure enough, when it came to scheming against others, she was not soft-hearted at all. Master, you have to make a decision for us. Mingxian. What should Mingxian do? Concubine Yun cried and begged Lu Yuanfan. Her daughter had been replaced. What should her daughter do? Her son was dead, and her daughter had been married off. Concubine Yun's face was ashen, and she kowtowed to Lu Yuanfan. Master, please save our daughter. Lu Yuanfan clutched his chest and panted heavily. He looked at Lu Juning. You have to give me an explanation for this matter. How do you want me to explain it to the Lord Protector's manor? Lu Juning calmly said. Daughter didn't know about this matter, but as far as I know, eldest sister never wanted to marry Li Yu, so she directed and acted out this play. Not only could she get rid of marrying Li Yu, but she could also frame this matter on daughter. Lu Mingxian screamed crazily. You're talking nonsense. It was clearly you, it was you. Lu Juning looked down at Lu Mingxian and said, It's been 3 days since the wedding. You haven't eaten or drunk anything. How are you still alive? You still have the strength to shout at me? That's because someone sent me food. Lu Mingxian said. Someone sent you food? You clearly hid yourself. You clearly had many opportunities to call for help. Why did you only come out now? Lu Juning had a puzzled expression. Lu Mingxian tried hard to explain. That's because they didn't give me a chance. When I was eating, they stuffed food into my mouth and covered my mouth. Then how did you come out now? It was those servant girls who let me go. The more Lu Mingxian said, the more she made things worse. The more she said, the more mistakes she made. Ning Shu felt that Lu Mingxian was telling the truth, because Lu Mingxian could only marry Li Yu. If even Li Yu was cut off, the rest of her life would be bleak. Father, did you hear that? It was clearly eldest sister who didn't want to marry Li Yu, so she thought of this. Lu Juning said to Lu Yuanfan. Lu Yuanfan's chest rose and fell. He walked in front of Lu Mingxian and stared at her maliciously. Chapter 13-14. Lu Yuanfan felt that the Lu family had been very unlucky recently, and the source of the bad luck was this eldest daughter of his. First, her innocence was tarnished at Tiantai Temple, and then she married into the Marquis's household with great difficulty. Now she actually married his 10-year-old daughter into the Marquis's household. Lu Yuanfan couldn't hold on any longer, and almost fainted. His vision was blurry. Lu Mingxian was stared at by her father's fierce eyes, and her whole body trembled uncontrollably. Lu Mingxian grabbed her father's clothes. Father, you have to believe your daughter. I was really tied up. Lu Mingxian begged with a sorrowful expression. Lu Yuanfan kicked her away. You still have the nerve to say that? Look at how the Lu family's face has been ruined. Father. Lu Mingxian crawled back. I was really wronged. Really? Please believe your daughter. Lu Yuanfan slapped Lu Mingxuan's face. Lu Mingxuan's face was slapped to the side, and her face swelled up at a speed visible to the naked eye. This slap scared everyone in the room. Concubine Yin saw her daughter's swollen face and hurriedly begged. Master, even if you beat Mingxian to death, it's useless. You have to believe Mingxian. She was really wronged. I don't care if she was wronged or not. It has already happened. Useless thing, even if you were framed, you still have the nerve to come crying in front of me. Lu Yuanfan said coldly. Lu Mingxian covered her face, and her heart was as dead as ashes. She couldn't even cry. Lu Yuanfan rubbed his forehead, looking tired. In the future, stay in the courtyard. You are not allowed to run around. Otherwise, you can go to the family temple and stay there. Lu Yuanfan said coldly. From today onwards, you are no longer Lu Mingxian. Lu Yuanfan said. Lu Mingxian suddenly raised her head and looked at her father in shock. Then who am I? Fourth Miss Lu Yujing, bedridden all year round. Lu Mingxuan's face trembled, and a laugh came from her throat. It was incomparably sarcastic. Lu Yujing, I am Lu Yujing? Lu Mingxian got up from the ground, turned around, and walked out of the hall step by step. Lu Mingxuan's back was filled with despair. Every step seemed to use up all her strength. All of you, scram back to your own courtyards. You'll feel uncomfortable if you don't cause some trouble every day. Scram. Ning Shu turned around and left the hall crestfallen. He looked back and saw Lu Juning and Chen Yichen walking unhurriedly between the pavilions. They were a match made in heaven. Ning Shu pursed his lips and followed Concubine Lu to her courtyard. Back in the room, Ning Shu whispered to Concubine Lu. Concubine Lu, put away all your assets. Hide them if you can. What's going on? Concubine Lu couldn't help but ask. Why are you packing up? Ning Shu said. I'm not asking you to pack up, but to put away all the valuable things. I have a bad feeling in my heart. According to the plot, the Lu family would probably fall. Concubine Lu's expression changed unpredictably. Once something happened, the ants under the tree would be the first to sense it. Concubine Lu also felt that the Lu family was running to the edge of the cliff. People's hearts were scattered, and things kept happening in the family. Yueyan, if something really happens, what should we do? Concubine Lu was panicking. Ning Shu comforted Concubine Lu. It's okay. I will protect you. If something really happened to the Lu family, the women in the family might be demoted to slaves or prostitutes. Ning Shu couldn't help but rub his forehead. I know. I will put away the things. Concubine Lu couldn't help but grab Ning Shu's hand. It should be okay. Ning Shu patted Concubine Lu's hand. This is just in case. Ning Shu bit his lip. No one would be safe under the circumstances. Their bodies were engraved with the word Lu, and their fate in this life was closely related to the Lu family. Oh, okay. Concubine Lu began to tidy up her more expensive jewelry. Don't make it too obvious. Others will notice, Ning Shu said. Concubine Lu's voice trembled as she nodded. Ningxu walked out of concubine Lu's courtyard and saw Lu Juning and Chen Yichen in the pavilion. The two of them sat opposite each other, talking about something. Chen Yichen turned his head and met Ningxu's eyes. Ningxu didn't dodge. He bowed and left. Chen Yichen retracted his gaze and said to Lu Juning, "That is also your sister." Lu Juning looked at Ningxu's back and nodded. She is the third child and is concubine Lu's daughter. She is a concubine's daughter. You should be careful of her. After so many things have happened, she can't be underestimated. Be careful not to lose to her. Chen Yichen warned Lu Juning. Lu Juning picked up the teacup and took a sip, then slowly put it down. Her movements were light and elegant. She said lightly, "She is like this. She is afraid of getting into trouble. She will lean on whoever is in power." Lu Juning, your life in the Lu family is so tiring. Why don't you marry into the Wang family? It will definitely be easier than now, Chen Yichen said. Lu Juning's slender eyelashes drooped slightly, covering her eyes. She said coldly, "No, I still have things to do in the Lu family." Chen Yichen wasn't disappointed. After all, he had been rejected by Lu Juning more than once. If there is anything you can rely on me. I can solve your problems for you. Chen Yichen looked at Lu Juning with sincere eyes. Lu Juning was stunned. In her previous life, she had painstakingly planned for Shen Hao. Shen Hao had only said that it was good to have her, but he had never given her anything to rely on. Now, a man wanted her to rely on him wholeheartedly and protect him. But Lu Juning no longer believed him. Chen Yichen frowned. What had the woman in front of him experienced? She was so tired and like a hedgehog. The road to pursuing a wife was difficult. Ningxu passed by Lu Mingxuan's courtyard and heard the heart-wrenching screams inside. Her voice was hoarse and full of tears. Ningxu hammered his chest and couldn't help but look up at the sky. Locked in this small courtyard, his eyes could only linger on some superficial matters. All of the love and hatred fermented under the eaves, constantly fermenting, becoming more and more intense, more and more dirty. Ningxu returned to his own courtyard and sat down on a chair, propping up his forehead as he thought about things. Yuan Xiang poured tea for Ningxu. Ningxu picked up the teacup and gulped down the water. Mississippi Yuan Xiang called out to Ningxu. "What should we do about this?" Ningxu shook his head. "We can't do anything about it. I reckon that father will have to negotiate with the Marquis' estate." Ningxu hadn't expected that Lu Yujing would marry into the Marquis' estate. It really was a headache. The Lu family couldn't be destroyed by Lu Juning. Lu Juning didn't care. In any case, she had a man to protect her and leave, but she and concubine Lu would be demoted to slaves, and they might have to work for the rest of their lives. Chapter 13-15. Her life in the Lu family wasn't good, but if she was banished by the imperial court, that would be hell on earth. Lu Juning Ningxu clenched her fists. No matter what, she had to give it a shot. A woman without a family or clan to protect her would have a hard time in this era. Ningxu wanted to leave the Lu family directly, but what would that mean? Lu Mingxian was locked up tightly by Lu Yuanfan. She wasn't allowed to step out of the courtyard. If she didn't listen, she would be sent to the family temple. The current Lu Mingxian had no value at all. The daughter that was raised with care and treated as the daughter of the first wife had no value at all. Now she had become a piece of trash. She even married off a 10-year-old daughter. From now on, the Lu family would be laughed at and become the joke of the world. No matter how concubine Yun pleaded, Lu Yuanfan wouldn't agree. He didn't even want to see concubine Yun. He had a lot of things to worry about. In the imperial court, there was also the competition between political opponents. How could he have time to care about a daughter who had lost her value? Concubine Yin could only kneel in front of the study again and again, begging Lu Yuanfan. In the end, Lu Yuanfan was so angry that he grounded her, and told her to stay in the courtyard and not come out. Both mother and daughter were grounded. When Ningxu saw the fate of the mother and daughter, she felt sad. Maybe the next one would be her and concubine Lu. To be able to sully Lu Yueyun's innocence, it meant that Lu Juning hated her. If she didn't deal with her now, she would probably deal with her in the future. Ningxu put down the embroidery. She wasn't in the mood to embroider now. Miss, fourth miss has returned. Yuan Xiang walked into the room and told Ning Shu. What fourth miss? It's eldest miss. Ning Shu said lightly. Yuan Xiang quickly patted her mouth. Nobi was wrong. It's eldest miss who has returned. It's already been a few days. Why would she return? Ning Shu went to the front hall and saw Li Yu bringing Lu Yujing, who was only as tall as his armpit, to meet his father-in-law. Li Yu's expression wasn't good. Lu Yujing, on the other hand, appeared to be very happy. She was wearing colorful clothes and her hair was combed into a woman's bun. Her head was full of pearls and jade. She was clearly a child, but she was dressed so maturely. Lu Yujing happily bowed to Lu Juning. Greetings to big sister. Lu Juning smiled and nodded. Li Yu and Lu Yuanfan went to the study to talk. Since you're back, let's take a good look around. I'll get someone to prepare some food, Lu Juning said. Thank you, big sister. Lu Yujing said gratefully. Lu Yujing turned around, the pearl hairpin in her hair making a crisp sound. Ning Shu felt that Lu Yujing was like a jewelry showcase. She was full of good stuff. Third sister. Lu Yujing called out to Ning Shu. Ning Shu turned and left. Without pastries, she wouldn't starve to death. Without the pearl hairpin, she could live. If she wanted to climb up, she would climb up at night. What was the point of finding so many excuses? Lu Yujing stood in front of Ning Shu and raised her head to look at Ning Shu. Her face was covered with makeup. She was young and looked a bit strange. Lu Yujing took out a silver ingot and said, This silver is to thank third sister for taking care of me during this time. It also gave me the ink, brush, paper, and inkstone. Ning Shu looked at the silver ingot in Lu Yujing's hand. Lu Yujing's eyes were nervous and happy. It seemed like she had never done such a thing before. Her actions were a bit stiff. Ning Shu found it extremely funny. So she had struck it rich and was throwing money around? She wanted to use this method to fill the cowardice in her heart. Third sister, take it. Lu Yujing stretched out her hand. In her palm was the silver ingot. The weight of this silver ingot was not light. Ning Shu couldn't help but smile. You don't need to give me the silver ingot. You're already married. It's best if you have some silver on you. Fourth sister, I wish you happiness. Haha, Ning Shu walked around Lu Yujing and left. So Lu Yujing had always thought this way. Perhaps in the process of interacting with her, her heart was different from what she showed. Chapter 13-16. She was timid, sensitive and pitiful. If she behaved inappropriately, Lu Yujing would probably resent her in her heart, and say that she looked down on her. She wouldn't say anything and just keep it in her heart. Lu Yujing fawned over Lu Juning just to get this chance to change her fate. Li Yu was a person who liked men, and had no interest in women at all. Marrying a wife was just to make himself look like a normal person, and at the same time, to cover up some of his hobbies. Everyone thought that Li Yu was a good man. Ning Shu didn't intend to say anything. Did she want her to say that her husband was gay? Lu Yujing wouldn't believe her even if she said it. Instead, she would resent her and think that she was jealous. Ning Shu didn't take Lu Yujing's money, which made Lu Yujing's expression a little ugly. In the past, Lu Yueyin gave her things as if they were beggars. Now she could give Lu Yueyin things. It seemed that this could turn the tables. Lu Yujing took back the money with some resentment. The more she thought about it, the more sullen she felt. She stared at Ning Shu's back. Mississippi, Yuan Xiang and Ning Shu called in a low voice. Ning Shu stopped and asked, What's wrong? Miss, don't be too sad. Now the fourth, eldest miss is different from the past, Yuan Xiang said. I'm not sad. Who knew what Lu Yujing's life would be like in the future? A lifetime was very long, and it was enough to torture people's hearts. Besides, this was human nature. Adoration from afar, envy from near, adoration from out of reach, envy from within reach. Adoration without conflict of interest, envy with conflict of interest. Ning Shu didn't know that Lu Yujing had always been jealous of her. Lu Yujing wasn't jealous of Lu Mingxian and Lu Juning because the gap between them was too big. They were both illegitimate daughters, but Lu Yujing compared herself to her. Therefore, people should go out and walk around more. Being locked in this small space all the time, people would become perverted. Li Yu stayed for lunch. Ning Shu also attended, but she was an illegitimate daughter, so her seat was a little further back. Lu Mingxian and concubine Yun were still grounded and didn't come to eat. Lu Yujing and Li Yu sat together. They didn't look like husband and wife, but like siblings with a big age gap. Chen Yichen shamelessly sat with Lu Juning. Sitting at the head of the table, Lu Yuanfan's expression was not very good. No one knew what he was talking about with Li Yu. However, the Lu family was in the wrong in this matter, so they had to make some compensations and sacrifices to suppress this matter. At the dinner table, Chen Yichen picked up food for Lu Juning from time to time, which made Lu Yujing very envious. She said, "Prince Chen, you are so kind to my second sister. Am I not good to you?" Li Yu placed some food on Lu Yujing's plate. Lu Yujing immediately blushed and charmingly said, "Thank you, husband." Ning Shu, who was single, was speechless. Ning Shu almost choked. They were showing off their love in public. Ning Shu looked at Li Yu. This man had hidden himself very well. Almost no one knew of his eccentricities. As the successor of the Marquis's residence, he was outstanding and was a man worth entrusting. Ha ha ha. While they were eating, Lu Mingxian knew that Lu Yujing had come back, so she secretly ran out of the yard and went to the front hall. Seeing Lu Yujing sitting next to Li Yu in a luxurious dress, Lu Mingxian hated her to death. This bitch had stolen her husband. Lu Mingxian rushed into the room, rushed to Lu Yujing's side, and reached out to strangle Lu Yujing. "You bitch, I'm going to kill you." Lu Mingxian strangled Lu Yujing tightly. Lu Yujing's face turned red and she looked frightened. She was pressed on the table, with soup under her and the bowl and chopsticks on her back. Lu Yujing's eyes were full of Lu Mingxuan's ferocious face and poisonous eyes, staring at her gloomily and terrifyingly. She couldn't even cry for help. "What are you doing? Are you turning the world upside down?" Lu Yuanfan's face darkened when he saw Lu Mingxian come out. Everyone went to pull Lu Mingxian away, fearing that she would really die. But even if Lu Mingxian was pulled away, she would still strangle Lu Yujing's neck with all her might, refusing to let go. Lu Yujing's face started to turn green. Li Yu didn't want to marry another wife. One more wife meant one more risk of exposing his fetishes. Li Yu grabbed Lu Mingxuan's arm and pulled with all his strength. With a crack, Lu Mingxuan's arm was dislocated. Cough, cough, cough. Lu Yujing fell to the ground, gasping for breath with a painful expression. "Li Yu, how can you do this to me?" Lu Mingxuan's arm hung limply, looking at Li Yu angrily. Li Yu helped Lu Yujing up and said coldly, "I don't know you." Lu Mingxian was stunned, as if struck by lightning. "Don't know me? What did you say?" Lu Mingxian asked with a trembling voice. Although she was unwilling to marry Li Yu, she had no choice but to marry him. She didn't expect Li Yu to treat her like this. "Xiansu, this is the family's fourth child. She has been sick and her mind is a bit unclear," Lu Yuanfan said to Li Yu. He waved his hand and hurriedly had the servants drag Lu Mingxian away. "I won't let you off even if I become a ghost." Lu Mingxian was dragged away by the servants. She gloomily stared at everyone present, especially Lu Juning and Lu Yujing. "Lu Yujing, you damned woman. Don't think that you can marry Li Yu just because you defecated Lu Juning's servant girl. You even ate Lu Juning's shit, you disgusting woman. I'll open my eyes and see how happy you can be." Lu Mingxuan's voice echoed mournfully. It was filled with madness and hatred, causing people's hair to stand on end. Li Yu frowned. He felt that Lu Mingxuan's words were disgusting. Defecating servant girl and eating shit, he was speechless. Even his impression of Lu Yujing was not very good. Li Yu didn't care who his wife was. He just needed a wife. Ning Shu saw the disdain between Li Yu's eyebrows and immediately curled his lips. He was already a troublemaker, yet he still despised others. With Lu Mingxuan's disturbance, the previously pretended harmonious atmosphere was broken. Li Yu said goodbye to Lu Yuanfan and left the Lu mansion with Lu Yujing. When they left, Ning Shu saw that Lu Yujing's face was filled with happiness. Obviously, Li Yu's protection just now made her feel very happy. Ning Shu couldn't help but shake his head. Some things were illusory. The things that she obtained through scheming weren't so beautiful. Naturally, the meal couldn't be eaten. Lu Yuanfan's face darkened as he flung his sleeves and left. Lu Juning and Chen Yichen's expressions were calm, as if nothing had happened. This couple Ningxu bowed and left, wondering what price Lu Yuanfan had paid to keep the Marquis's mansion from causing trouble. She didn't have much of a presence in the Lu family, so she wasn't qualified to know these things. But even if she thought with her toes, the Marquis's mansion must have received some benefits. Lu Yuanfan had gotten a shield for nothing, and he had also received some benefits. How much did Lu Juning hate the Lu family? He was thinking of ways to deal with them. Chapter 13-17. What Lu Juning was doing was harming others without benefiting herself. No, as long as the Lu family suffered losses, it would be beneficial to Lu Juning. Lu Juning did not need her maiden family at all. She relied on the great general's residence. Thus, the Lu family could go to hell. Lu Juning wanted to destroy the Lu family. She had to hold on to the Lu family. Ningxu drank the tea to dispel grease. In order to resolve the crisis, he had to throw away the explosives. Miss, why does eldest young master say that he doesn't know eldest young miss? Yuan Xiang asked puzzledly. They were engaged and there was even skin-to-skin contact. How could he say that he didn't know her? Ningxu said indifferently, he's blind. Even if he's blind, he can still feel it. Ningxu stared at Yuan Xiang with a strange expression. He can even feel it. Yuan Xiang was somewhat baffled. Eldest young miss and fourth young miss are very different in height. How can he not tell? Fourth young miss was still a child. Blind, deaf and blind. It doesn't matter who is who. Ningxu shrugged. In any case, fourth young miss has married into the Marquis's residence. What's done is done. It's just that eldest young miss. Yuan Xiang's eyes revealed sympathy. I don't know what kind of family eldest young miss will marry into. Ningxu rolled her eyes when she saw the longing expression on Yuan Xiang's face. Ningxu felt that it was a pity. Lu Mingxian was too impulsive. If she had been more prepared, she would have taken a knife and chopped Liu directly. You're not trying to snatch my man, but I'm going to kill him. What are you trying to snatch from me for? If the man accidentally dies, you'll be a widow for the rest of your life. If you accidentally paralyze the man, you'll be a cripple for the rest of your life. If you accidentally disfigure the man, you'll be an ugly woman for the rest of your life. What was the use of strangling a woman to death? Strangling her to death would not affect Liu at all. Liu could always remarry. Killing a man would definitely cause a woman great pain. Ningxu felt that if he were Lu Mingxian, he would definitely drag Liu to the Yellow Springs when he was sad and desperate. How nice would it be to have a scapegoat? He could even let the living die in pain. In the middle of the night, the surroundings were quiet. Ningxu sat cross-legged on the bed. He got off the bed, opened the wardrobe, and took out his night clothes. Ningxu put on his night suit and covered his face. Even his head was covered, leaving only his eyes exposed. He even wrapped his shoes with a cloth. This way, he wouldn't leave any footprints, and the sound of his footsteps would be quieter. Ningxu's clothes had been secretly sewn by himself. Once he became proficient in needlework, clothes were a piece of cake. No matter how difficult it was not as difficult as embroidery. After putting on his night suit, Ningxu left the room and headed for Lu Yuanfan's study. The sky was very dark, and there was only a half-hidden moon in the sky. Not a single ray of moonlight shone down. Ningxu shuttled through the Lu clan, and arrived at Lu Yuanfan's study. He gently opened the door and heard a soft creak. Ningxu tiptoed into the study and began to look for something. Every official's but was not clean. As the Minister of War, Lu Yuanfan held great power in the military. All the military provisions had to go through his hands. It would be strange if his but was clean. Lu Juning found evidence that Lu Yuanfan was buying and selling official titles, embezzling military provisions, and secretly hiding weapons. He suspected that he was going to rebel. Lu Yuanfan had placed these account books in his home, and Lu Juning found out. Lu Juning presented this evidence to the emperor. As the emperor, he could tolerate the greed of his subordinates. When the water was too clear, there would be no fish. But rebellion was absolutely intolerable. Lu Yuanfan's actions made it seem like he was going to rebel. He would rather kill the wrong person than let him go. So Lu Yuanfan was beheaded, and the Lu clan dispersed. At this point, the Lu clan had completely collapsed. Ningxu wanted to find that book now. He felt that there was something wrong with it. Accepting bribes was one thing, but it also had to be written down. It was purposely to let people have something against him. Even if he wanted to write it down, he had to remember it in his heart. Who could dig out the things in his heart? Ningxu turned the antique vase on the shelf. There was no mechanism. Ningxu also searched the bookshelf. She took out a lighter, but she did not dare to light it. She was afraid that someone would find it. The book should not be placed on the bookshelf so casually. Ningxu touched Lu Yuanfan's desk and chair to see if there was any mechanism. She touched the chair and the table. She only knew that these account books were found in Lu Yuanfan's study, but Ningxu did not know where in the study it was. She must find the book before Lu Juning. She could not let the Lu clan collapse like this. She could not benefit much from the Lu clan's good fortune. But if the Lu clan collapsed, she would be a very unlucky person. As Lu Yuanfan's daughter, she did not know what would happen to her. She did not find any mechanism on the chair or the desk. Ningxu had no choice but to lie on the ground. She used her fingers to knock on the floor tiles one by one to see if there was any mechanism on the ground. Finally, in a corner behind the door, there was a floor tile. It was hollow. When she knocked on it, there was a rustling sound. Ningxu's heart skipped a beat. This should be some kind of mechanism. Ningxu took out a knife and cut along the cracks in the floor tile. Finally, she lifted the floor tile up. Ningxu reached out and touched the hole. She found the book. Ningxu stuffed the book into her arms, and then put the floor tile back in place. After doing all this, Ningxu was about to leave. Just as she stood up, the door creaked. Ningxu, who was standing behind the door, was speechless. Another person, who was also wearing night clothes, came in. Ningxu held her breath. She did not make a move. Like Ningxu, this person entered the study and touched everywhere. Ningxu slipped out of the study like a gust of wind. She took out a fire starter and threw it into the room. The fire starter landed on the curtain. Then Ningxu quickly closed the door to the study and used a wooden stick to string the two door knockers together. It would not be easy to open from the inside. Father Lu, I'll teach you a lesson. Look at how you put all the important things in the study. It's safer to put them in the toilet than in the study. Ningxu clutched the book in her chest and quickly ran back to her room. When she returned to her room, Ningxu quickly took off her night clothes and hid them. She lay on the bed in her underwear. It's on fire. It's on fire. A panicked voice rang out in the silent night. Then the entire Lu residence became restless. Yuan Xiang, who had just put on her clothes, ran into Ningxu's room and shook Ningxu. Miss, wake up. It's on fire. Ningxu opened her eyes and asked in confusion, what's wrong? It's on fire. Where is it on fire? Ningxu quickly lifted the blanket. Yuan Xiang put on the clothes for Ningxu. Just as Ningxu was putting on her clothes, Lu Juning burst in. Second sister? Ningxu stared at Lu Juning in shock. Ningxu was really puzzled. Did Lu Juning know that the book was in her hands? Chapter 13:18. When Lu Juning came in, her expression was solemn. She looked around the room and her gaze stopped on Ningxu's face. Ningxu was confused and asked, Second sister, there's a fire. Why did he come here instead of putting out the fire? Was there something wrong with him? Lu Juning flicked her sleeves. Her wide sleeves swung gently, looking elegant and beautiful. The arsonist is coming this way. Someone broke into the Lu residence. I brought people to take a look. Lu Juning's gaze was fixed on Ningxu. Did you see anyone? Wearing night clothes. Ningxu quickly shook his head. I didn't see anyone. Did you see anyone? Ningxu Yuan Xiang asked. Yuan Xiang looked scared. No. Ningxu looked around and quickly walked to Lu Juning's side. Second sister, is there really an assassin? Lu Juning looked at Ningxu. That's why we need to search your room to see if the assassin is hiding here. Ningxu nodded. Second sister, quickly search. Ningxu's face was full of fear and apprehension. Lu Juning let the servants search. Under the bed, under the bedding, everything was searched. The room was turned into a mess. Lu Juning saw that nothing was found and frowned. Ningxu carefully said. Eldest sister, the assassin isn't here, right? You stay in the room. Father's study is on fire. Lu Juning's expression was puzzled. She looked at Ningxu with suspicion and turned to leave the room. Ningxu bowed to Lu Juning and watched her leave until Lu Juning left the courtyard. How did Lu Juning know that someone was coming in this direction? Did someone see her? Ningxu Yuanxiang said. Tidy up the room. I'll go out and take a look. Yes. The study was ablaze and thick smoke billowed. The servants were carrying buckets of water, and the maids were splashing water. They looked very hurried. Hurry up, hurry up. Lu Yuanfan said anxiously. He wanted to rush in several times, but the fire was too big. Lu Yuanfan shouted irritably, Hurry up, what are you doing? Ningxu watched from afar and didn't approach Lu Yuanfan. If he went over now, he might become a punching bag for Lu Yuanfan. The study was on fire. Lu Yuanfan should have realized that his things were not safe. Lu Juning and Chen Yichen stood together, and the firelight reflected on their faces. The two of them seemed to be talking about something. Ningxu felt that they were looking at him. Chen Yichen asked, Did you find anything? Lu Juning shook his head. No, we didn't find the man in black, nor did we find anything. Chen Yichen glanced at Ningxu. I didn't search her. She might be the assassin. At that time, I vaguely saw that the assassin was short and very different from a man's build. It shouldn't be her. Lu Yueyin shouldn't be a martial artist, and she wouldn't have the guts to set a fire. Lu Juning shook his head. Make bold guesses and be careful to verify them. Maybe what you think is impossible is possible, Chen Yichen said. Among your father's children, you and she are the only ones who haven't had an accident. Also, the incident at Tiantai Temple last time might have been her doing. You and Lu Mingxian both had an accident, but she was fine, Chen Yichen said. Lu Juning looked at Ningxu standing there with some doubts in his heart. Could it be that Lu Mingxian was also reborn? Since she was reborn, why was she indifferent when her husband married someone else? When Li Yu wanted to marry Lu Mingxian, Lu Yueyin didn't feel anything. When Li Yu married Lu Yujing, she still didn't feel anything. If she was reborn, it shouldn't be like this. Whether it was love or hate, there should be a lot of emotional fluctuations. Just like when she saw the third prince, Shenhao, she couldn't control her inner resentment. When she saw Shenhao's face, she wanted to kill him. She wanted to cut him into pieces and let him have a taste of the pain she had suffered. But Lu Yueyin didn't seem to have any feelings for Li Yu. She was cold and distant. Lu Juning shook his head. Lu Yueyin shouldn't have been reborn. Chen Yichen looked at Lu Juning and shook his head. He asked, What are you thinking about? Nothing. I'm just wondering why the other party set the fire. Lu Juning looked at the anxious Lu Yuanfan. It's probably to divert attention. After almost an hour of fighting the fire was controlled and slowly extinguished. Lu Yuanfan's study was already black, and the wood was smoking. Lu Yuanfan rushed in and pushed open the dark wooden door. He moved the floor tiles behind the door and found that the thing was gone. Lu Yuanfan suddenly froze and his face turned pale. The thing was yours, but where did it go? Lu Yuanfan shivered. If that thing fell into the hands of outsiders, the dozens of people in the Lu family would be in trouble. The Lu family would really be ruined. Find out who set the fire for me. Lu Yuanfan came out of the study, covered in black ash, and roared loudly. His face was extremely pale. Ningxu lowered his head and didn't speak, letting Lu Yuanfan go crazy. Third sister, if you see anyone strange, remember to tell me and father, Lu Juning said to Ningxu. Ningxu nodded. I know, second sister. I'm going back to my room. Lu Juning nodded. If there's anything, remember to tell me. Ningxu bowed and turned to leave. I will send someone to keep an eye on her. If the thing is really on her, we will definitely be able to get it, Chen Yichen said. Lu Juning turned to look at Chen Yichen. You don't have to do these things for me. This is my business, and it has nothing to do with you. Don't think that I will be grateful if you do these things for me. Chen Yichen frowned. What I am willing to do for you is my own business, and it has nothing to do with you. I am willing to do it for you, and whether you accept it or not is your business. Lu Juning didn't know what to say, so she simply left. Ning Shu returned to his room. Yuan Xiang had already tidied up the room. Yuan Xiang and Ning Shu asked, "Miss, how is it?" Ning Shu sat down and drank tea. The fire has been put out, but the study was burned beyond recognition. Master will be angry now. Lu Yuanfan had a bad temper, and he might hit someone when he was angry. Ning Shu said, "You should also go and rest. It will be a while before dawn." "I'd better stay with you, Mississippi. I heard that there were assassins in the mansion. I am afraid that something will happen to Miss," Yuan Xiang said. "You are the one who is afraid." Mississippi. Ning Shu asked Yuan Xiang to stay with him. The things on her must be destroyed. If she kept them on her, she might be exposed at any time. Ning Shu felt that he had little chance of winning against Lu Juning, so he could only secretly calculate. Behind Lu Juning stood the general's mansion. And now there was Prince Chun, who was a member of the royal family. Damn it! Chapter 13:19. Ning Shu lay on the bed and stared at the top of the bed. So now she still had to confront Lu Juning. Lu Juning wanted to destroy the Lu family. She had to protect the Lu family just to have a place to settle down. If Lu Yuanfan's rebellion was successful, he would probably face the execution of the whole family. This body was Lu Yuanfan's daughter, a direct relative, and she would probably be beheaded. If she couldn't even survive, how could she talk about a counterattack? Ning Shu turned over and stared at Yuan Xiang, who was drooling while sleeping on the recliner. She had to find an ally. It was too difficult to be alone. The power gap was too big. But who should she cooperate with? Lu Yuanfan, Lu Mingxian? Ning Shu covered her head with her hands. She felt that Lu Juning suspected her. Ning Shu couldn't think of a way. She was thinking of a way to confront Lu Juning. The task of the original Lu Yueyan was to not marry Li Yu and not be defiled. But there were no eggs left intact. She went to the family temple early and spent the rest of her life in the family temple. The Lu family also collapsed. Even if she escaped the fate of being defiled, the Lu family faced the fate of collapse, and it didn't end well. Ning Shu wanted to poison Lu Juning directly. She might as well poison Lu Juning to death. It was a little difficult to implement. There were secret guards around her and Chen Yichen. Chen Yichen would probably send someone to monitor her. She suspected that something was on her. Ning Shu's daily life was still embroidery. It was very normal. But Ning Shu felt that someone was watching her. More than one pair of eyes were staring at her. Sure enough, someone was watching her. Ning Shu pretended not to know anything. Ning Shu threw the booklet directly into the basin, and the pages were gradually soaked by the water. The handwriting on the page was also blurred. The clear handwriting was a mess, and it was impossible to see what it was. Ning Shu was very bored and tore the paper into pieces, and then tore it into small pieces one by one. It became a pot of paste. Even if Lu Juning had great ability, there was no way to restore it. If that was the case, Ning Shu would immediately kneel down in front of her. "Miss, what are you doing?" Yuan Xiang entered the room and saw that the basin was filled with piles of paper paste. She was somewhat speechless as she asked, "It's just too boring." Ning Shu wiped the water off his hands, picked up the copper basin, and poured the water into the wash basin. Yuan Xiang shrugged her shoulders. Miss was really too bored. After dealing with the booklet, Ning Shu felt relieved. After all, the Lu family's crisis was temporarily gone. He just didn't know if Lu Juning would think of other ways to deal with the Lu family. At the very least, the matter of Lu Yuanfan rebelling had been resolved. After all, they couldn't accuse Lu Yuanfan of rebelling without any evidence. Lu Yuanfan was a second-rank official after all. Ning Shu didn't want to tell Lu Yuanfan about the book. He wanted him to go there in a hurry and be on tenterhooks. When his life was in danger, Lu Yuanfan would suspect everyone around him. Ning Shu hoped that Lu Yuanfan would suspect Lu Juning. Ning Shu stretched lazily and said to Yuan Xiang, "Today's weather is really good. Let's go out for a walk." Ning Shu left the courtyard and walked around the garden. If not, he would feed the fishes. Ning Shu felt that someone was following him, but he didn't care and continued to stroll around. He walked to the outside of Lu Mingxuan's courtyard. Lu Mingxuan's courtyard was now deserted. Not a single person came to visit the previously glorious Mississippi, Ning Shu said. They're all outside Big Sister's courtyard. Let's go in and take a look. Yuan Xiang hurriedly said. Miss, it's better not to go. Big Miss is too scary. When the fourth Miss returned home and strangled Lu Yujing, her crazy and vicious look made people shudder with fear. Ningxu pushed open the courtyard door. It's fine. Lu Yujing's courtyard was overgrown with weeds. Fallen leaves were scattered all over the ground. It looked a little desolate. Miss, let's go back. Yuan Xiang said cautiously. The door was open. Ningxu walked into the room and saw Lu Mingxian embroidering. Big sister, Ningxu called out to her. Lu Mingxian raised her head and glanced at Ningxu. Then she lowered her head and continued to embroider. It's hard for people to come to my courtyard, Lu Mingxian said sarcastically. Ningxu sat down across from Lu Mingxian. Lu Mingxian had lost a lot of weight. Her chin was sharp and her expression was haggard. She looked so thin that she was out of shape. Why are you looking for me? Are you here to laugh at me? Lu Mingxian said without raising her head. Ningxu sighed and said, I'm not here to laugh at Big Sister. Big Sister just needs to apologize to Father and admit your mistakes. Then you can leave. Why are you so stubborn? Lu Mingxian slammed the embroidery in her hands on the table. I didn't do anything wrong. I was wrongly accused. Ningxu spread out her hands. But things have already happened. You can't go back in time. If you insist on an explanation, you will only make Father even more disappointed in you. Apologize to Father properly. She had indeed lost her chastity. She had indeed been married off. These things had already happened. It wasn't something that could be redeemed with an explanation. What do you know? These things didn't happen to you. Of course you can speak without feeling any pain. Lu Mingxian said hatefully. Ningxu stood up. I was meddlesome. Little sister, I'll take my leave now. Ningxu left the courtyard. She didn't care about Lu Mingxian. If Lu Mingxian could really pull herself together, it would be good if she could annoy Lu Juning. Someone who could become empress in her previous life definitely had some tricks up her sleeves. It was just that she was still young and hadn't turned around yet. Ningxu continued to stroll around. She saw that Lu Yuanfan's study was being renovated. A fire had burned almost everything in the study. Lu Yuanfan's old face was gloomy the entire time. He wanted to stab everyone he saw. His gaze was malicious. Anyone who stared at him would feel as though they had taken something of his. Ningxu braced himself and bowed to Lu Yuanfan. Father, what are you doing? Stay in your room. Lu Yuanfan's expression was unpleasant. Ningxu's expression was timid. He said repeatedly, Father, don't be angry. Has the assassin been caught yet? Caught what? He's long gone. Lu Yuanfan said through clenched teeth. His tone was irritable, and his face was filled with worry. The whereabouts of the assassin were unknown. Ningxu comforted him. Father, it's fine. Second sister is searching for the assassin. If there's any news, second sister will definitely tell you. Father, did you lose something? Second sister is also looking for something? Ningxu asked. Something? What something? What is your second sister looking for? Lu Yuanfan's expression changed. What did your second sister say? Ningxu's expression was a bit blank. I'm asking you. What is your second sister looking for? Lu Yuanfan asked anxiously. Ningxu shook his head. I don't know. Lu Yuanfan waved his hand. Ningxu said, Scram back to your own courtyard. Don't run around if there's nothing important. Oh. Ningxu's expression was very aggrieved. He called out, Father. Chapter 13:20. Lu Yuanfan wasn't a qualified father, and didn't have much care for his daughter in the backyard. As the head of the family and a man, he didn't want to waste time on his daughter. Ningxu stared at Lu Yuanfan pitifully. Lu Yuanfan was annoyed, and when he saw Ningxu's half-dead appearance he felt even worse. I told you to go back. Now is an eventful time, so don't bother me. Lu Yuanfan rubbed his eyebrows. Ningxu bowed and left. She was gloating in her heart. You'll be anxious to death. After walking around outside, Ningxu returned to her courtyard and continued to embroider. In any case, the book was destroyed, so she could breathe a sigh of relief for the time being. Miss, it's already the end of the month. After this incident, I don't know if Master will call you over for dinner. Yuan Xiang said as she poured tea for Ning Shu. The Lu family would have a gathering at the end of every month, where the whole family would gather to have a meal together. They couldn't not eat together all year round. After all, they were a family. Generally speaking, if there wasn't anything special, there was only one chance to talk to Lu Yuanfan every month. Ning Shu didn't care about the meal at all. However, when it was time for lunch, a maidservant came to inform Ning Shu to have lunch in the front hall. Lu Yuanfan was still in the mood to let the family gather together. Wouldn't he be so irritable that he would flip the table? Since father told her to go, then she would go. When it was time to eat, Ning Shu tidied up and went to the front hall. When she walked into the room, she froze for a moment because Lu Mingxian and concubine Yin had both come. Ning Shu called out, "Big sister." Lu Mingxian nodded and ignored Ning Shu. Lu Mingxian came out. It seemed that she had thought it through. Ning Shu sat next to concubine Lu, silently drinking tea and not speaking. Then Lu Juning and Chen Yichen also came. To be honest, the two of them were like husband and wife, living under the same roof. Apart from a status, the two of them had done everything they could. She just didn't know if Chen Yichen would break into Lu Juning's boudoir at night and share a bed with her. Ning Shu felt that this was completely possible. After all, they had already had sex. What was the big deal about sleeping? When Lu Juning saw Lu Mingxian, she was also stunned. She immediately said, "Big sister, you came out?" Lu Mingxian actually smiled at Lu Juning. "That's right. I was bored at home, so I came out for a walk." Lu Juning nodded. "It's good to go out for a walk. It's not good to stay indoors all the time." Ning Shu looked at the two of them and felt that it was quite inconceivable. They were talking so calmly, like sisters who loved each other. Ning Shu held his teacup and sipped his tea, not interrupting their conversation. A maidservant brought up the dishes. Lu Yuanfan walked into the house, scanned the people in the house, and sat down. "Let's eat." Everyone sat around the table. Lu Mingxian was the first to speak. "Father, I was wrong. I know I was wrong." Lu Yuanfan nodded. "It's good that you know you were wrong. Don't make trouble in the future." "Okay." Lu Mingxuan's voice was choked with sobs, and tears fell down her face. "Thank you, father." Lu Mingxian sat down and kept wiping her tears. Concubine Yin also began to wipe her tears. She thanked him repeatedly. "Thank you, master." A subtle expression flashed across Lu Juning's face, and her face became colder and colder. Ning Shu swallowed the food in his mouth. Looking at the scene of a father and a filial son, he felt strange no matter how he looked at it. Lu Yuanfan looked at Lu Juning and said, "Don't worry about the family affairs." Lu Juning frowned and asked, "Father, why? Did I do anything wrong?" Lu Juning couldn't figure out why Lu Yuanfan would remove her from the position of housekeeper. Lu Yuanfan put down his chopsticks and said lightly, "You have to prepare your dowry. I've decided to marry you to Prince Chen." Chen Yichen suddenly laughed. "Thank you." Lu Juning's expression changed, and she put her chopsticks on the table heavily. "I won't marry him." As soon as Lu Juning said this, Chen Yichen's face became a little gloomy and cold. Seeing Chen Yichen's expression, Lu Yuanfan hurriedly said, "If you don't marry him, who are you going to marry? Prince Chen has been in the Lu mansion for so long, and you go in and out together every day. If you don't marry him, who are you going to marry? Set a date." Lu Juning pursed her lips tightly and stiffened her neck, unwilling to marry. Lu Yuanfan said unquestionably, "That's it. You should also prepare your dowry. Sit down." "Father, do you want to use me as a tool to consolidate your power? If you want to use Prince Chen, you have to see if I'm willing to marry him or not," Lu Juning said coldly. "It's your parents' order and the matchmaker's words. It's not up to you whether you're willing or not," Lu Yuanfan said with a sullen face, his eyes rolling over Lu Juning's face. He was a little shocked that his daughter was so rebellious. "I'm the one getting married. No one can force me to get married," Lu Juning said firmly. "It's up to you. Anyway, the date has been set," Lu Yuanfan said with a livid face. The father and daughter quarreled, and Chen Yichen next to them was a little embarrassed. In front of so many people, Lu Juning said that she didn't want to marry him. Concubine Lu, you take care of the family matters for the time being. Lu Yuanfan was too lazy to argue with Lu Juning. Concubine Lu lowered her head and didn't have much sense of existence. Hearing this, she raised her head in amazement and said in disbelief, "Master, what did you say? You take care of the family matters for the time being." Concubine Lu was almost stunned by the sudden pie that fell from the sky. Being stared at by so many people, she was very frightened. Concubine Lu was both excited and scared. She couldn't help but look at Ning Shu. Ning Shu shook his head without a trace. The housekeeper was not so easy to manage. If the subordinates were disobedient, there was nothing he could do. Seeing Ning Shu shake his head, Concubine Lu was a little disappointed. Seeing that Concubine Yun and Lu Juning were staring at her with very unfriendly eyes, she gave up this idea in her heart. Concubine Lu waved her hand and said to Lu Yuanfan, "Master, Bai Chia can't do it. Bai Chia has never taken care of the family and doesn't know anything about it. Just take your time," Lu Yuanfan said. The more Lu Yuanfan said this, the more Concubine Lu felt that something was wrong. "Master, Bai Chia is stupid. Bai Chia really can't manage such a big family." Lu Yuanfan glanced at Concubine Lu, and then looked at Concubine Yun. "It's up to you." "Thank you, Master. Bai Chia will definitely take care of this family," Concubine Yun immediately said happily. Her face was flushed with joy, and her eyes were full of tenderness as she looked at Lu Yuanfan. Lu Yuanfan didn't meet Concubine Yun's eyes at all. The meal ended on a bad note. Lu Juning turned and left, which made Lu Yuanfan's face ugly. He said to Chen Yichen, "Prince, you must be joking. This child's mother passed away early and is a little willful. I hope Prince can forgive her." Chapter 13:21. Chen Yichen didn't know how many times he had been rejected. Chen Yichen didn't know what was bothering Lu Juning. Hearing Lu Yuanfan's words, Chen Yichen nodded indifferently, stood up, and chased after Lu Juning. Lu Mingxian looked at Chen Yichen's back with flickering eyes. Ning Shu and Concubine Lu also planned to leave, but Lu Mingxian stopped Ning Shu. "Third sister." Lu Mingxian came over, took Ning Shu's arm, and said to Concubine Lu with a smile, "Concubine Lu, can I talk to third sister?" Ning Shu said, "Concubine Lu, you can go back first. I'll find you later." Concubine Lu was a little worried, but she had to leave. "Big sister, what do you want to say to me?" Ning Shu asked. Lu Mingxian said with a smile, "I just want to thank you. We can get along well in the future." Ning Shu nodded. "Okay." Ning Shu looked at Lu Mingxian, who was smiling sweetly. After so many things had happened, she could still smile like this. She no longer exploded in silence, but became perverted in silence. Lu Mingxian now gave Ning Shu the feeling that Lu Mingxian was a pervert. Prince Chun is so good to second sister, but second sister doesn't seem to be satisfied. Lu Mingxian led the topic to Lu Juning. Speaking of Lu Juning's name, Lu Mingxian was not crazy and hysterical like before, but this kind of calmness was even more unsettling. Ning Shu nodded in agreement. "Yes, it seems that Prince Chun insists on second sister." Lu Mingxian raised the corner of her mouth. "Insists on her?" Lu Mingxian chatted with Ning Shu for a while and then left. Ning Shu stared at Lu Mingxuan's back. This was the purpose of Lu Mingxian. How could she only oppose Lu Juning? The more muddy the water, the better. Lu Yuanfan should have some doubts about Lu Juning. The things in the study were a thorn in Lu Yuanfan's heart. Lu Yuanfan probably suspected everyone in the family, and the most suspicious one was Lu Juning. That was why he took away her position as the housekeeper and married her to Chen Yichen. In Lu Yuanfan's heart, power was the most important thing. If someone wanted to touch his roots, he would definitely retaliate. Ning Shu went to find Concubine Lu. Concubine Lu said to Ning Shu unhappily, "Why didn't you let me take over the family's authority?" "Concubine mother, Concubine Yun has been in charge for the longest time. Most of the people in the manor are her people. After that, it was second sister who was in charge. She was bold and decisive. No one dared to make trouble. But mother, you have to accept that most of the people are Concubine Yun and second sister's people. The manor can't move at all. It's an arduous and thankless task. Father will blame you. If he wanted to fill his own pockets, he had to have the ability. Wasn't he just trying to get some money from the steward? Concubine Lu sighed and touched Ningshu's face. My daughter has grown up. I don't need to worry about her in the future. I'm relieved that you're married. Ningshu. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Ningshu wanted to see a tripartite situation. In fact, several forces were besieging Lu Juning. Lu Yuanfan, Lu Mingxian, Concubine Yin, and Ningshu. Lu Juning's advantage was that she had Prince Chen Yichen, who was in a high position. Ningshu was a little speechless. Instead of going to court to plead for the people, he was trapped in a woman's harem. Was he worthy of the burden on his shoulders? He was in a high position and had good food, sleep, and play. Even if he was lucky and reincarnated, he shouldn't be like this. No matter what class, ability and status were proportional. Ningshu supported his chin. He had to find a way to deal with Lu Juning. Lu Juning relied on the general's mansion and the loyal Chen Yichen. She couldn't deal with the general's mansion or Chen Yichen. Chen Yichen guarded here every day and didn't leave. It made her speechless. She was surrounded by people sent by him. How long would he keep monitoring her? It made it difficult for her to do anything. He used these forces to bully a woman in his harem. How could he not be ashamed? Ningshu could only suppress the impatience in his heart. He should do what he should do. You want the booklet? Haha, the booklet is gone. Ningshu hummed a tune while embroidering. Miss, something happened again. Ningshu was speechless. She didn't like to listen to Yuan Xiang now. She always said, Miss, something happened, something happened. Ningshu put down the embroidery, picked up the teacup and asked slowly, what is it this time? Mississippi, Yuan Xiang whispered in Ningshu's ear. First Miss and Prince Chen had intimate contact. They are in the hall now. Ningshu picked her ear. What did you say? I mean, Yuan Xiang said loudly. First Miss and Prince Chen. Ningshu almost choked on her saliva. What's going on? I don't know the details. It seems that Prince Chen and First Miss were in the wing room and were found by Master. Ningshu felt helpless. Why couldn't she keep up with the pace? Lu Mingxian had sex with Chen Yichen again. Ningshu hurried to the hall and saw Lu Mingxian kneeling on the ground and Chen Yichen standing aside with a livid face. Lu Juning also had a look of disbelief on her face, as if she had been betrayed. Lu Yuanfan's expression was indescribable. Ningshu couldn't help but sympathize with him. Ningshu quietly walked in and stood at the foot of the wall, so as not to be swept. Master, you have to uphold justice for Mingxian. Mingxuan's chastity is gone. Concubine Yun cried. Chastity? She has been chastity for a long time. How did I give birth to such a shameless daughter? Lu Yuanfan was so weak that he couldn't even vent his anger. Lu Mingxian kowtowed and said, Father, it was really my first time with Prince Chen. First time? Lu Yuanfan was so angry that he didn't know what to say. Where is Li Yu? Li Yu. That time with Li Yu walked on the dry road. Lu Mingxian said with a coaxing face. As soon as she said this, everyone present didn't know what to say. Prince Chen, there is still my virgin blood on the bed. You can find someone to verify it. Lu Mingxian threw caution to the wind. Chen Yichen had already been schemed against. And now this woman was saying such shameless words. The veins on Chen Yichen's forehead were about to explode. Lu Juning looked absent-minded and out of sorts. Lu Yuanfan rubbed his forehead desperately. Ningshu didn't expect Lu Mingxian to cause such a big scene as soon as she came out. She was completely going for broke. Anyway, it was already like this, so she had to make Lu Juning suffer and sleep with Lu Juning's man. She might even get rid of the current situation and marry into the prince's mansion. Concubine Yun probably used her connections in the mansion to scheme against Chen Yichen. Fortunately, Concubine Lu didn't take over the backyard. Otherwise, Concubine Lu would be roasted on the fire. So don't underestimate women. Many men fell into the hands of women. When there was no love in a woman's heart, it was the most terrifying thing for a woman. She didn't compromise and only wanted to achieve her goal. It seemed that Lu Mingxian was putting all her eggs in one basket. This matter was very difficult to deal with. It was very likely that Lu Mingxian would be dealt with and this matter would fade away. It would depend on whether Lu Yuanfan was willing to uphold justice for Lu Mingxian and let Chen Yichen take responsibility. Chapter 1322. The four sisters of the Lu family vividly illustrated what it meant to be weak. The eldest, Lu Mingxian, had caused such a ruckus in the Buddhist temple. Lu Yuanfan had been ridiculed by his colleagues, who looked at him strangely. The Lu family was also banned from entering the imperial temple, Tiantai Temple. It was too embarrassing. The second eldest, Lu Juning, wanted to completely destroy the Lu family. The third eldest, Ning Shu, had stolen his booklet and burned down the house. Lu Yuanfan was worried sick about the booklet. He was afraid that if it fell into the hands of others, the Lu family would be finished. He couldn't eat or sleep well. The fourth eldest, Lu Yujing, had married in her sister's place at the age of 10 years old. Any one of these things could make the Lu family's reputation go down the drain. Now that he had just released his eldest, this kind of thing had happened. Lu Yuanfan was so angry that his blood vessels were about to burst. The atmosphere in the hall was heavy and oppressive. Ning Shu shrank to the side to reduce his presence. Seeing Lu Yuanfan trembling all over, he was afraid that he would suddenly have a stroke. Ning Shu thought that Lu Yuanfan had released Lu Mingxian to use her to fight against Lu Juning. Who would have thought that Lu Mingxian would do such a thing? Not only did she do it with Li Yu, but she also did it with Chen Yichen, his brother-in-law. Lu Mingxian knelt on the ground looking aggrieved. "Dad, you must uphold justice for your daughter." Lu Yuanfan was speechless. Lu Yuanfan couldn't say a word for a long time. He stared blankly at his daughter kneeling on the ground. Was this his daughter? Chen Yichen's face was very ugly. He had been paying attention to Lu Juning. Lu Juning looked absent-minded, and she avoided Chen Yichen's eyes. Sure enough, there were no good men. What made Lu Juning feel most embarrassed was that she had given her first time to Chen Yichen. If she didn't marry Chen Yichen, could she marry someone else? She would rather be alone for the rest of her life. Why couldn't she escape this fate? In her previous life, Lu Mingxian had stolen a man from her. And in this life, her man had been tainted by Lu Mingxian. Lu Juning was full of hatred. Was she really unable to break free from fate? Chen Yichen didn't know how to explain. He had been set up. Chen Yichen didn't expect that he would fall into the trap of these harem women. Chen Yichen said to Lu Yuanfan, "I will only marry the second young lady." Lu Yuanfan rubbed his forehead. His head was about to explode. "Your Highness, you can't do this to me. You took my virginity. If you don't take responsibility, do you want me to kill myself?" Lu Mingxian cried. "Your Highness, I will kill myself in front of the palace gates. Even if you are a member of the imperial family, I will use my death to prove my innocence." Lu Mingxian said with a firm expression. Ning Shu was speechless. Ning Shu really had to hand it to Lu Mingxian. She had no way out, and she had no scruples. Her killing power was so strong. Lu Juning's face was ugly, and Chen Yichen's face was as black as the bottom of a pot. "If you want to marry her, then marry her," Lu Juning said coldly. Lu Juning lifted her chin slightly, looking very proud. "I don't want a man who has been used by Lu Mingxian." Chen Yichen's face twisted. "Can't you see what's going on? I can't tolerate betrayal, so our marriage is annulled," Lu Juning said coldly. Lu Yuanfan interrupted. "There's no need to annul it. Since the second son doesn't want to marry, then marry the eldest son." Lu Juning was speechless. Lu Juning looked at her father in disbelief. This scumbag of a father. In his heart, only Lu Mingxian was his daughter. No matter what Lu Mingxian did, he could forgive her. "Thank you, father. Thank you." Lu Mingxian quickly kowtowed. "I won't marry Lu Mingxian. I want to marry Lu Juning." Chen Yichen's face was livid. Lu Mingxian cried delicately and plaintively said, "Your Highness, you said you would marry me. You said you would marry me on the bed in the side room." Lu Yuanfan couldn't help but close his eyes and wipe his face when he saw how shameless his daughter was. "I will never marry you in this life. If you want to marry someone, then marry Lu Mingxian. I would rather not marry in this life than share a husband with others," Lu Juning said firmly. Chen Yichen was very anxious and immediately said, "But I have to be responsible for you. We have already done it as husband and wife. I will only marry you in this life." Everyone. When Lu Yuanfan heard this, he felt dizzy. He staggered and fell into a chair. You. Lu Yuanfan pointed a trembling finger at Lu Juning and Chen Yichen. "What nonsense are you talking about? When did I do it as husband and wife with you?" Lu Juning couldn't help but shout. "Chen Yichen, don't force me to hate you." Lu Juning didn't expect Chen Yichen to say this in public. Her heart suddenly ached. This man was like other men. He never cared about what she thought. Chen Yichen said this because he wanted to marry Lu Juning. Lu Mingxian, who was kneeling on the ground, suddenly burst out laughing. She said with some mockery, "I thought that second sister was as pure as ice and as pure as jade. How could you do such a thing? You and I are good sisters. How about we share a husband?" Lu Mingxian deliberately provoked Lu Juning. Lu Juning's face was cold. "I'm not as shameless as you. You had sex with Li Yu, and now you're with Chen Yichen. Aren't you just afraid that you won't be able to get married?" "Yes, I want to get married." "Second sister, don't you want to get married? It's the pot calling the kettle black. There's no difference. Don't pretend to be pure. Prince Chen and I only did it once, but Prince Chen has been in the Lu mansion for so long. Who knows if you didn't do it every night?" Lu Juning was so angry that her whole body trembled and her face turned red. "Don't talk nonsense." Chen Yichen, who was sandwiched between the two women, had an indescribable expression. Ningxu was confused. She couldn't keep up with the rhythm and looked at Lu Yuanfan. Lu Yuanfan kept wiping his face. Enough, stop arguing." Lu Yuanfan smashed the teacup on the ground. With a bang, the room suddenly quieted down. Lu Yuanfan asked Chen Yichen, "Prince Chen, what do you think?" Both of his daughters had been taken advantage of by Chen Yichen. His daughters must have had a deep hatred in their previous lives, so that he could meet these shameless daughters in this life. Lu Yuanfan felt so helpless and directly gave the choice to Chen Yichen. "If it really doesn't work, then marry both of them. A Huang and Vying are also a good story," Lu Yuanfan said. He wanted to get rid of these unlucky daughters now. They had lost their virginity before marriage, and as a result, their married daughters couldn't consummate their marriage. The reason was that they were too young. Chen Yichen kept looking at Lu Juning and ignored Lu Mingxian, who was kneeling on the ground. "Do you really not want to marry me?" Chen Yichen asked Lu Juning. Lu Juning turned her back and said coldly, "No, I won't marry you even if I have to be alone for the rest of my life." Chapter 13:23. I can't tolerate sand in my eyes. I wish you happiness, Lu Juning said resolutely, as if there was no room for negotiation. Chen Yichen closed his eyes and said to Lu Yuanfan, "I am willing to marry Miss Lu." "Thank you, Your Highness." Lu Mingxian immediately thanked him with a brilliant expression. Lu Yuanfan was a little worried and asked, "Are you sure you want Lu Mingxian? Don't change your mind when the time comes." Lu Yuanfan was really scared of these daughters. Chen Yichen was silent and looked at Lu Juning. Lu Juning still had her back to him. Chen Yichen nodded in a fit of pique. "I am willing to marry Miss Lu." Lu Mingxian smiled. "Thank you, Your Highness." Lu Juning's body trembled. Then, she turned and left. Chen Yichen wanted to stop Lu Juning, but in the end, he didn't say anything. Lu Yuanfan said to the kneeling Lu Mingxian, "From today onwards, you are no longer Lu Mingxian. You are Lu Yueyin." Ningxu immediately pointed at himself. "Dad, then who am I?" "You are the fourth Lu Yujing." Lu Yuanfan waved his hand and said. Ningxu was speechless. "Damn, the names of the four girls of the Lu family are really..." The second son was the first wife's daughter, and the first wife's name couldn't be changed all the time. Moreover, the great general's residence recognized his own granddaughter. Thus, he switched the names of the three concubine daughters back and forth. Lu Yujing married the eldest, Lu Mingxian, and took away the eldest's name. Since the eldest was already married, Lu Mingxian could no longer be called Lu Mingxian, so she was called Lu Yueyin. After that, Ningxu was also forced to change his identity. He became the fourth child, Lu Yujing, and became a few years younger. This was simply, Chen Yichen didn't care who was who. With a flick of his sleeves he left Lu Mansion. As soon as Chen Yichen left, Lu Yuanfan could no longer control his emotions and slapped Lu Mingxian. Look at what you've done. Lu Mingxian covered her face and lowered her head. Father, I know I was wrong. You know you're in the wrong. Yet you refused to repent. Last time, you told me that you know you're in the wrong. What are you doing now? The veins on Lu Yuanfan's forehead were bulging. It looked like his blood vessels were about to burst. Lu Mingxian lowered her head and didn't say anything. Lu Yuanfan sighed deeply. The sooner you marry, the better. Then he staggered away. Lu Mingxian covered her face and stood up with a smile on her face. Ning Shu said, "Congratulations, elder sister." Lu Mingxian put down her hand. Half of her face was swollen, but Lu Mingxian smiled. But it seems that Prince Chun likes second sister, Ning Shu said. Lu Mingxian smiled slightly and said, I don't care who he likes. As long as I'm the legal wife of Prince Chun and have a noble status, I don't care if Prince Chun likes me. Even if he likes someone else, I'm still the legal wife of Prince Chun. This mentality was not bad. She had a noble status, ate and drank well, wore brocade clothes, had a group of servants, and the man even made the woman he liked his concubine. Moreover, the man didn't bother her. It was perfect. How beautiful everything looks without begging for a man's love. Ning Shu smiled and nodded. Congratulations, big sister. But you still have to be careful. What happened last time? Last time, she could marry on behalf of Prince Chun. Lu Mingxian said lightly. I'm not so stupid this time. I must become the legal wife of Prince Chun. Lu Mingxian said. Congratulations again, big sister. Ning Shu bowed and turned to leave. The Lu family was just a small place, but what happened was really too much for the eyes to take in. Lu Yuanfan married Lu Mingxian to Chen Yichen mostly as a warning. She was just watching a show, and then she was forced to change her name and age. The names of the 3 daughters of concubines were changed in a triangular shape. The eldest daughter became the 3rd daughter, the 3rd daughter became the 4th daughter, and the 4th daughter became the eldest daughter. It really made people speechless. Miss, Second Miss and His Highness Prince Chun are also husband and wife. What should Second Miss do if she doesn't marry His Highness Prince Chun? Yuan Xiang asked in confusion. Second sister is a proud person. It's normal that she can't figure it out now, Ning Shu said lightly. Yuan Xiang pursed her lips and said, Miss, you're only 10 years old now. That's good. You've become younger, Ning Shu said with some sadness. But when you become an adult, you'll be an old girl, Yuan Xiang said anxiously. I'm 10 years old now. Who knows that I'll be an old girl after I become an adult? Ning Shu said indifferently. Yuan Xiang nodded. It seems so. Go to second sister's yard and ask for some information. Ning Shu took out some broken silver and said to Yuan Xiang, be careful. Yuan Xiang nodded and took the purse. Ning Shu picked up the embroidery and continued to embroider. This time she embroidered lotus flowers, which were vivid and lifelike. She could carry axes, hold thin needles, and was a woman who was good at literature and martial arts. Ha ha ha. When Yuan Xiang came back, Ning Shu shook her head and said, There's no news at all. Nothing happened. It's so peaceful. Ning Shu was a little surprised. Don't worry about it. Lu Juning could be so calm. Although she usually looked as if she had a knot in her heart, Chen Yichen was really a deeply affectionate and loyal man. If he really gave up, Lu Juning would definitely be heartbroken. In any case, in front of Chen Yichen, she was capricious. She always felt that Chen Yichen should protect her wholeheartedly. Otherwise, how could he eliminate the entanglement and uneasiness in her heart? Otherwise, how could he walk into her heart? Now she was still stubbornly holding on because she felt that Chen Yichen wouldn't really abandon her. She was waiting for Chen Yichen to admit his mistake, and then she wouldn't listen to him. Ning Shu couldn't be bothered to care about these people's love and hate. Lu Yuanfan was probably traumatized by the last marriage, so he even ordered people to guard Ning Shu's yard. Lu Mingxuan's yard was surrounded by 3 layers of guards, for fear of the same thing as last time. The Lu family's reputation was already so bad that nothing could happen to it. Lu Yuanfan felt that he was really living with his face in his trousers. Lu Yuanfan set a date. It was quite rushed, so he went to ask Chen Yichen for his opinion. Chen Yichen had no opinion and didn't care at all. Then Lu Yuanfan asked the house to hang red lanterns. The closer it was to the wedding, the weirder the atmosphere in the Lu family's mansion became. Lu Mingxuan's yard was guarded and no one was allowed to enter. Lu Yuanfan asked Lu Juning again if she wanted to marry him. Lu Juning's expression immediately changed. She said coldly, "Father, can you not insult me? You want me to share a husband with Lu Mingxian? I can't do that." In her previous life, Lu Mingxian had stolen her husband, and in this life, she had to share a husband with Lu Mingxian. Was there anything more ironic than this? How am I insulting you? Don't you already have intimate relations with Prince Chen? Chapter 13:24. Lu Yuanfan didn't know what to do. They had sex, but they didn't want to get married. What do you want to do if you don't get married? Just tell me what you want to do. Don't tell me that Prince Chen, like you, your sister and Li Yu, is walking on the dry road. Lu Yuanfan said without thinking. It was quite embarrassing for a father to say such things to his daughter. Lu Juning's face was livid. I won't get married. Father, you don't know what I'm thinking at all. How can I know what you're thinking if you don't tell me? What's done is done. What else do you want? Are you willing to get married or not? Lu Yuanfan directly gave the final ultimatum. I won't get married. Father, you have never treated me as your daughter. You only have Lu Mingxian in your heart. Only Lu Mingxian. I don't know what mother wants in this life. Lu Juning turned and left. Lu Yuanfan was so angry that he was about to have a cerebral hemorrhage. But this time, Lu Juning really wronged Lu Yuanfan. Lu Yuanfan didn't have Lu Mingxian in his heart. The person he loved most was himself and power. On the day of the wedding, Lu Mingxian was helped out in her wedding dress. Lu Yuanfan was so worried that he asked the wedding nanny to lift Lu Mingxuan's veil to take a look. Seeing that it was his eldest daughter, Lu Mingxian, he breathed a sigh of relief and said, Since you're married, you should be sensible. I will send some people to follow you until you enter Prince Chen's mansion. Thank you, father. Lu Mingxian thanked him. Lu Mingxian was helped into the sedan chair. Chen Yichen sat on the horse with a hopeless expression, looking around for Lu Juning. But Lu Juning didn't show up at all, which made Chen Yichen's expression even more gloomy. He had been dawdling and looking back from time to time, but Lu Juning still didn't show up. Chen Yichen originally wanted to provoke Lu Juning. As long as she appeared now and asked him not to marry someone else, he would do anything. But Lu Juning didn't show up. Lu Yuanfan knew what Chen Yichen was waiting for, so he just said, Your Highness, it's almost the auspicious time. Chen Yichen's face trembled. In the end, he turned the horse around and left. The wedding procession slowly walked away, blowing and beating the drums. Ningxu couldn't help but shake his head. He turned around and saw Lu Juning standing there motionlessly. Second sister, Ningxu called out. Lu Juning turned around and left, but her back view was very lonely. If there was an opportunity, he had to seize it. Since he had decided to be alone for the rest of his life, he should not hesitate. If he missed the opportunity, he would look like he had been betrayed and had nothing to live for. She didn't know what would happen to Lu Juning and Chen Yichen in the end. Would they still be together? Chen Yichen was already married, and there was also Lu Mingxian in the middle. Lu Mingxian was still the official wife. With Lu Juning's temperament, could she really tolerate her being a concubine and her elder sister being the main wife? Back then, Lu Juning had asked Lu Yujing to marry in Lu Mingxuan's place. Now Lu Mingxian had stolen her man and married in her place. Samsara was a circle. Ningxu indicated that she and Lu Juning were the only ones left in the manor. Now she and Lu Juning were up against each other again. Lu Juning's lonely back view was really heartbreaking. Father, have you found what you lost? Ningxu asked Lu Yuanfan. Lu Yuanfan's face immediately darkened. It was such a joyous day, yet he had to talk about this kind of thing. He really didn't have good eyesight. Lu Yuanfan directly said, I found it. Ningxu nodded. It's good that you found it. As if. Go back to your own courtyard. There are many outsiders here. Stay in the courtyard. Lu Yuanfan was afraid that his daughter would lose her virginity before marriage again. He really couldn't bear it. Ning Shu bowed and returned to her courtyard. The front courtyard was bustling with noise and excitement. Ning Shu took out the embroidery and continued to embroider. After embroidering for a long time, she felt that it was quite interesting. Moreover, she was completely focused while embroidering. It was like meditation, and her thoughts were clear. Yuan Xiang poured tea for Ning Shu and watched Ning Shu embroider. "Miss, with your skill in needlework, the dowry you embroidered will definitely be beautiful," Yuan Xiang said with a smile. Ning Shu nodded. "Isn't it? These are all works of art." Lu Mingxian returned home 3 days after the wedding and became Princess Chen. Lu Mingxian looked very dignified. She was dressed in brocade and had several maids around her. There was joy on her face. It seemed that she was very comfortable with the identity of Princess Chen. When Lu Mingxian saw Ning Shu, she gave Ning Shu a big red packet. It was a pair of earrings, the kind with exquisite workmanship. Ning Shu accepted it. Unlike the jubilant Lu Mingxian, Chen Yichen's face was gloomy, and he didn't look like he was married at all. How could he be happy if he didn't marry the woman he liked? Lu Juning slowly came over. When Chen Yichen saw Lu Juning, his eyes lit up, but Lu Juning ignored him. Lu Mingxian didn't have any expression on her face and talked to Ning Shu. Ning Shu felt that Lu Mingxian didn't have any feelings for Chen Yichen. At most, she just wanted to secure the position of Princess Chen. Chen Yichen and Lu Mingxian returned home, so they naturally had to stay for lunch. Chen Yichen kept glancing at Lu Juning, but Lu Juning didn't look at him and looked indifferent. Chen Yichen's face darkened. To be honest, Ning Shu didn't have the appetite to eat when he saw the two of them in such a dilemma. They were so worried that it really affected his appetite. Why couldn't they just talk about it? All misunderstandings started with "I thought." "I thought you knew what I was thinking." Lu Yuanfan sat at the head of the table and looked at the two of them with a frown. Chen Yichen was willing to stay at his mother's home for one night. Again and again, she tried to find an opportunity to talk to Lu Juning, but Lu Juning always used a cold face to refute her. Chen Yichen finally found a chance to be alone with Lu Juning and wanted to muster up the courage to talk. Lu Juning said directly, "We are done. You married the person I hate the most. Do you still want to have something to do with me?" Lu Juning suppressed her emotions and said. Chen Yichen didn't know what to say. "Husband." Lu Mingxian came over and took Chen Yichen's arm. She said, "Husband, I've been looking for you everywhere. What are you talking about with second sister?" Lu Juning looked at the two of them leaning against each other and secretly cursed them in her heart. "Nothing," Chen Yichen replied indifferently. Lu Mingxian smiled even more brightly. "In fact, I don't care about anything. It's normal for men to have multiple wives. If second sister really likes you, I can make the decision to let you enter Prince Chen's mansion." "No, I, Lu Juning, am not so lowly as to be someone's concubine. I am the legitimate daughter of the Lu family and the granddaughter of the general's mansion. How can I be a concubine?" The more Lu Juning said, the angrier she became. "Even if you give me your princess consort, I won't enter Prince Chen's mansion." Lu Mingxian laughed. "Second sister, this is what you said. If you don't keep your promise, you will be struck by lightning and not even your bones will be left." Chapter 1325. Lu Mingxuan's voice sounded faintly, as if the heavens had struck with 5 bolts of lightning. Lu Juning's expression changed. She flicked her sleeves and turned to leave. Chen Yichen looked at Lu Juning's back sadly and shook off Lu Mingxuan's hand on his arm. "Don't touch me." Lu Mingxian was still smiling. Ning Shu watched from the side and felt that Lu Juning and Lu Mingxuan's positions had been switched. Now Lu Juning was very impatient, while Lu Mingxian felt like she was sitting on a high platform. Now Lu Mingxuan's marriage had been settled. If nothing happened to Chen Yichen, Lu Mingxian would naturally have a life of glory and wealth. However, Lu Juning and Chen Yichen had already slept together. Because Lu Juning couldn't get over the hurdle in her heart, she couldn't advance or retreat now. If she married Chen Yichen already had a wife, and it was Lu Mingxian, whom she hated so much. If she didn't marry him, she would lose her innocence. She was in a dilemma. In the evening, Chen Yichen wanted to rest in Lu's mansion for the night. Lu Juning couldn't help but go to Lu Mingxuan's courtyard. Seeing the lights inside, and then the lights go out, Lu Juning gritted her teeth tightly. Why was her life still so fragmented after her rebirth? Why was Lu Mingxian still haunting her? Why did Lu Mingxian want to steal everything that belonged to her? Lu Juning returned to her room with a gloomy look. The next day, Lu Mingxian and Chen Yichen were going back to Prince Chen's mansion. Chen Yichen had been dawdling, wanting to see Lu Juning again. Lu Mingxian said directly, I know you like my second sister, but your relationship now is different. If you really like her, I won't object to you marrying her. Originally, your position as Princess Chen was hers, Chen Yichen said. Lu Mingxian touched her temples and said carelessly, I know, but my sister missed such an opportunity. There are some things that can't go back. Lu Mingxian knew this feeling too well. When Lu Yujing married Chen Yichen, she wanted to destroy the world. She wouldn't let go of any opportunity. And this man was Lu Juning's man. She was Prince Chen's Princess Chen, the high and mighty Princess Chen. On the other hand, Lu Juning was just an unmarried woman who had lost her chastity. Lu Mingxian stared at Lu Juning with wide eyes. Revenge for her brother, revenge for the pain she and her mother had to endure. Chen Yichen turned around and walked away, looking very despondent. Lu Mingxian walked beside him. Lu Mingxuan's back was bright and beautiful. Ningxu looked at Lu Mingxian. Strictly speaking, Lu Mingxian was better at seizing opportunities than Lu Juning. Lu Juning's strength lay in the fact that she had been reborn and had foresight. Lu Mingxian, on the other hand, had managed to crawl up in that condition. Ningxu let out a long sigh. The women in the backyard were not simple. The men trapped the women in the backyard and let the women deal with the other women. If these methods were used on a man, it would be beautiful. Lu Yuanfan wanted to marry Lu Juning off, so he said directly, the son of the Supreme Court's assistant minister is not bad. He is 2 years older than you, so you can meet him. Lu Juning's face immediately darkened. I said that I will not marry. Even if I want to marry, it is my own decision. Lu Yuanfan sneered. You are just a withered flower. What else do you want? Withered flower? Father, are you my father or not? Lu Juning's face turned ugly when she heard the words withered flower. Lu Yuanfan said, then what do you want? I've said it before. My marriage is not something you can interfere with. My marriage is decided by my maternal family. I am your father. Father, haha. Lu Juning sneered. She went back to her room to pack her things and went to the general's residence. Lu Yuanfan was so angry that his chest heaved. He pointed at Lu Juning and Ningxu and asked, what does she mean? Ningxu quickly shook her head. I don't know. She was the only daughter left in the Lu family. Lu Yuanfan glanced at Ningxu. What kind of family do you want to marry? Father, I am only 10 years old. It's still early, Ningxu said. Lu Yuanfan sighed. He flicked his sleeves and went into the study with his hands behind his back. Ningxu caught up with Lu Yuanfan and asked, Father, what did you lose? Second sister is still looking for it for you. Actually, she is a good person. You don't have to be so fierce to her. What? Lu Yuanfan stopped. Did your second sister find what she was looking for? Ningxu shook her head. I only know that she is looking for something. I don't know if she found it or not. Father, don't worry. She will find it sooner or later. Lu Yuanfan's expression changed. He pushed Ningxu aside and rushed away. Ningxu shouted, Father, I am not finished. Where are you going? Ningxu caught up with Lu Yuanfan. Seeing that Lu Yuanfan was about to go out, she quickly asked, Father, where are you going? To the general's residence. Lu Yuanfan got on the sedan. Ningxu immediately asked, Father, are you going to bring second sister back? Go back and stay in the courtyard. Don't come out if you have nothing to do. You are not observant. Lu Yuanfan said impatiently. Ningxu returned to his courtyard. Lu Yuanfan probably went to ask Lu Juning for something. Lu Yuanfan thought that Lu Juning was going to bring the booklet to the general's residence. Ningxu took out the booklet and wrote down some prescriptions. He didn't know how to complete this task. He felt that as long as Lu Juning was there would be no way to complete this task. It was too tiring. Moreover, living in such a small place was very depressing. Every day, he would wander around the Lu residence. He would wander around the same place many times. Lu Juning didn't have the booklet on her. Lu Yuanfan wouldn't be able to get anything. He would definitely go back empty-handed. When Lu Yuanfan came back, his expression was very ugly. He probably suffered at the general's residence. The general's residence was very protective. Everyone thought that Lu Yuanfan was a scumbag. It would be strange if they treated him well. He also didn't manage to bring Lu Juning back. Ning Shu went in front of Lu Yuanfan and asked, "Father, you didn't bring second sister back?" Lu Yuanfan's heart was filled with anger. Moreover, Lu Yuanfan found that this daughter of his really made people speechless. She specifically picked topics that people didn't want to talk about. She was very, very unobservant. No, I will treat it as if I don't have this daughter. Even if Lu Yuanfan was blind, he could see that this daughter had a lot of resentment towards him. Not only was there resentment, there was also a strong hatred. Just because her mother died early, she felt that he killed her mother? He must have eaten too much. That's why he killed his wife and left no one to manage the backyard. Lu Yuanfan took a deep breath and made a decision in his heart. He was going to marry again. The Lu family didn't have a male heir. He had to find a wife and have a son. It would be best to find a family with power and influence. Recently, the Lu family's decline was obvious. It felt like the sun was setting in the west. Chapter 1326. Lu Juning stayed in the general's mansion and had no intention of coming back. Lu Yuanfan did not ask her to come back. He was busy finding himself a wife. Lu Yuanfan found that he had too few children. His only son, Lu Jinghui, had died of smallpox. Things happened one after another. There must be someone behind Lu Yuanfan. Lu Juning was the target. Concubine Lu was worried about Lu Yuanfan's second wife. She kept saying to Ning Shu, "I don't know what kind of person Madam is." "It's okay. As long as she doesn't do anything out of line, it's okay. Besides, someone is more anxious and worried than you." Concubine Yin had been managing the backyard. If Lu Yuanfan had a wife, it would not be her turn to manage the backyard. But her daughter is Princess Chen. The new madam will definitely give her face. "I'm just afraid that she will attack me," Concubine Lu said. Ning Shu said with a smile, "It's okay. The new madam is new here. She won't be in a hurry to do anything. Besides, you have always been honest. The new madam has no reason to attack you and increase her enemies." Concubine Lu was still uneasy. She patted her chest with her hand and said, "I'm still worried." Concubine Lu looked at Ning Shu and said, "I'm not afraid of anything else. I'm just afraid that the new madam will do something to your marriage." "Why would she do something for no reason? I'm just a daughter of a concubine. She can prepare a dowry and marry me. It will be good for her son in the future. Don't be so pessimistic." Ning Shu comforted her and said, "Besides, isn't it still early? After the sun went down, he would still get up tomorrow morning. He was single, so he would still be happy tomorrow." Concubine Lu relaxed and touched Ning Shu's head. "I just hope that you can be safe and sound in the future. Don't worry. I'll take care of you in the future." Lu Yuanfan was quite fast. Soon there was news that his second wife was the daughter of the minister of the Ministry of Rights. In fact, the minister of the Ministry of Rights was not as powerful as the general's mansion. The Ministry of Rights was usually responsible for some national festivals and the reception of envoys from other countries. But Lu Yuanfan was already middle-aged, and so many things had happened in the Lu family recently. His reputation was not good. To be able to marry a virgin was already good enough. Moreover, the other party was the daughter of the first wife. In fact, she was the daughter of a concubine. Later on, she was promoted to the daughter of the first wife and was raised under the name of the matriarch, becoming the daughter of the first wife. Lu Yuanfan now wanted to find a political partner. Even if it was not a partner, at least there would be someone who could support him. Otherwise, there would be no one to speak up for him. The wedding date was set, and the date was set in a hurry. In any case, recently, the Lu family had been holding wedding ceremonies one after another. The great general's residence was very dissatisfied with Lu Yuanfan's remarriage. When Lu Yuanfan got married, Lu Juning didn't even come back. He expressed his dissatisfaction in this way. Ningxu had been feasting on fish and meat recently. Every once in a while, he would eat a wedding banquet, which made Ningxu a little reluctant to eat. In fact, the recent events had almost emptied out the Lu family. Dowry, betrothal gifts, and so on. The Lu family was probably going to have to tighten their belts. On the morning of the second day of the wedding, the concubines and daughters of the family had to pay their respects to the bride. The new madam was quite easy to talk to. She even gave Ningxu a big red packet. Ningxu accepted it with a smile. There was money to be received. The new madam also didn't mention anything about the authority of the housekeeper. She let concubine Yin temporarily manage it. Ningxu looked at the new madam. He felt that this woman was not a good person. She used both the carrot and the stick. She was very magnanimous when doing things, but when she wanted to make things difficult for people, it was also very choking. However, what should be done was done. Ningxu also didn't think of going over to challenge her dignity and status. He would live his life how he should live his life. There was no hatred between people for no reason. Even if she didn't like the other person, she wouldn't go so far as to kill the other person. At most, she would make things difficult for the other person. However, in the face of benefits, these were insignificant. After leaving the courtyard, concubine Lu let out a long sigh of relief. It seems that madam is quite easy to talk to. Ningxu made an sound and looked at Lu Juning's courtyard. Lu Juning still hadn't come back. It was clear that she was unhappy with the new madam. It was clear that she didn't welcome her. However, concubine Yun's expression didn't look too good either. After all, she was about to lose her authority as the housekeeper. There was already a mistress in the house. It was impossible to let a concubine manage the house. Even if the new madam didn't want her authority as the housekeeper, Lu Yuanfan would still hand it over to her. Ningxu returned to the courtyard. He opened the book, dipped the tip of the pen in ink, and wrote some herbal knowledge on it. If she learned something, she would at least know how to defend herself when she was harmed by others in the future. She didn't want to be harmed by some despicable things again. In fact, the more despicable things were, the more useful they were. She didn't know when this mission would be considered completed. She didn't marry Li Yu, and she didn't have her virginity sullied and sent to the family temple. It was almost completed. At present, Lu Yuanfan's crisis could be considered resolved. The book was gone, but she didn't know if Lu Yuanfan had any other political stains. She felt that Lu Juning wouldn't let it go so easily. They were both reborn. Lu Juning wanted to take revenge on everyone. She wanted to make these people pay the price. As for Arves, he could find a remote planet and live a peaceful life. If Lu Juning had lived on planet Selder, she would not have been so sad. Survival was a problem, so how could she be sad? She was used to living a life of luxury, but she was too idle. The more idle she was, the more pretentious she became. No matter who it was, they had to pay the price for survival. Ordinary people had to live with their backs to the earth and the sky. Even aristocrats had to work hard to maintain the current situation. Lu Juning's actions had even caused her loyal dog to lose her husband. The main reason was that Lu Juning couldn't accept betrayal. Gradually, it led to the current situation. Lu Juning didn't make up her mind. She said that she only wanted revenge in this life and didn't want a man. Now that she met a man, she was conflicted about the past. She didn't please either side. With a proper wife in the backyard, Ningxu still had to go to the main courtyard to greet her every morning. Other times, Ningxu rarely went out. If he wasn't embroidering in the house, he was writing prescriptions. He didn't care about anything else. Lu Juning stayed in the general's mansion and didn't come back. He didn't know how long she would stay. To be honest, Lu Juning wasn't really a member of the general's mansion. It wasn't good for her to stay there all the time. Although the whole family treated her well, she was far away. If she stayed there all the time, the elders wouldn't say anything, but the wives and sisters-in-law of the general's mansion would gossip. It wasn't like she didn't have a home. The new wife told Lu Yuanfan to pick up her second daughter. She couldn't stay in someone else's house all the time. She was a girl. How could it be convenient if there were men in other people's houses? Lu Yuanfan frowned at the mention of Lu Juning, but he still went to the general's mansion to pick up his daughter. In the end, he came back with a cold face and said that he wouldn't have such a daughter in the future. Chapter 1327. Ningxu shrugged his shoulders, feeling that Lu Juning was a bit willful. She had lived 2 lives, yet she still didn't know when to stop. Did she think that after living in fear in her previous life, she could do whatever she wanted in this life? Lu Yuanfan didn't go to the general's mansion. Lu Juning could stay as long as she wanted, he couldn't be bothered. The new wife was just doing her duty. Since the other party didn't want to come back, she wouldn't force Lu Yuanfan to bring Lu Juning back. Wasn't it better if there wasn't a legitimate daughter in the family to suppress her? The second wife couldn't raise her head in front of the first wife's daughter. Ningxu was waiting for 2333 to tell him to leave this world. The mission in this world should be about done. The current crisis was solved, but Lu Yueyan would have to rely on herself in the future. He just didn't know how Lu Yueyan felt when she came back and found that she had become Lu Yujing. Ningxu wiped his face. Ningxu thought that her mission was completed, but the soldiers suddenly surrounded the Lu mansion. It was tightly surrounded. Lu Yuanfan was also called to the palace. Ningxu frowned. Was the Lu family's crisis still not over? Concubine Lu was very anxious, her face full of fear. If something happened to Lu Yuanfan, what would she do? What would the whole family do? It's okay. Ningxu comforted concubine Lu. The book had been destroyed by Ningxu. Was there any other evidence? Some things couldn't be stopped. Lu Yuanfan went to the palace, there was no news. The Lu mansion was surrounded like an iron bucket. Even the servants couldn't go out. An atmosphere of panic enveloped the entire Lu mansion, making it hard to breathe. Lu Yuanfan's fate determined the fate of everyone in the mansion. If something happened to Lu Yuanfan, none of them could escape. This matter must have something to do with Lu Juning. Really? What good would it do her to destroy the Lu family? If the Lu family was destroyed, where could she go? Could it be the general's mansion? Now that the loyal dog had a family, he couldn't give Lu Juning unparalleled love. Ningxu looked at concubine Lu's flustered expression and said, "Concubine Lu, it's okay. Don't worry. Go to sleep. Once you wake up, everything will be fine," Ningxu said. Concubine Lu rubbed her forehead. "How can I sleep? Trust me, it'll be fine." Ningxu was very calm. After leaving concubine Lu's courtyard, Ningxu lifted her skirt and dashed towards her own courtyard. "Miss, wait for this servant." Yuan Xiang called out to Ningxu from behind. Miss was really as quiet as a virgin, but as active as a mad rabbit. Ningxu returned to his courtyard and brought some medicinal powder with him for self-defense. He said to Yuan Xiang, who was panting from running, "I want to eat something light. I'm going out for a walk." "Miss, where are you going this time?" Yuan Xiang leaned against the wall and panted. "Don't follow me. I'm just strolling around the garden." As Ningxu walked, she looked around to see if there was anything wrong. Even if Lu Yuanfan really did something, she had to ensure that Lu Manor was clean and that there was nothing strange. Ningxu arrived at Lu Yuanfan's study. This study had just been renovated. There was also a smell. Ningxu looked around. Seeing that there was no one, she slipped into Lu Yuanfan's study. Ningxu looked around to see if there was anything like a dragon robe, or something like an imperial jade seal that clearly had the intention of rebellion. Ningxu didn't dare to be careless. If Lu Yuanfan really couldn't escape this disaster, it would be difficult for her to take concubine Lu and charge out alone. When a tree fell, those who relied on the tree to survive would also be destroyed. Ningxu fumbled around in the study to see if there were any hidden mechanisms or secret rooms. She even lifted up the floor tiles behind the door, but this time she didn't put anything. She didn't find anything unusual in the study. Ningxu's eyes wandered around, looking for a suitable place to put something. Ancestral Hall? Ningxu planned to go to the Ancestral Hall to take a look. The door of the Ancestral Hall was locked with a lock. Ningxu managed to pry open the window with great difficulty and climbed in through the window. There were memorial tablets of the Lu family's ancestors in the ancestral hall. Ningxu clasped her hands together and began to look around. She even jumped up to the roof beam to check. In the end, she found a package under the incense table covered with cloth. She opened the package. It was an imperial jade seal and a dragon robe. Ningxu. It was so obvious that it was for a search. How should she deal with this? Now that Lu Manor was surrounded, she was afraid that there would be orders to search the manor in a while. This imperial jade seal, TSK. When Ningxu passed by the pond, she threw the imperial jade seal into the water with a splash. She would come back to pick it up when she had time. As for the dragon robe, the embroidery was really good. Ningxu hugged the dragon robe and quickly returned to her room. She stuffed the dragon robe under the blanket. Miss, the cook made some light porridge. Do you want to eat some? Yuan Xiang asked. Okay. Ningxu finished the porridge in a few mouthfuls and said, I want to sleep for a while. Don't wake me up if there's nothing. Yuan Xiang nodded and closed the door. Ningxu hurriedly took out the dragon robe. What should she do with this thing? Burn it. Once it's burned, there will be smoke. Kitchen, go to the kitchen to burn it. Ningxu cut the dragon robe into pieces with a pair of scissors and put away the pearls on it. The dragon robe was so honest, there were no lack of gold thread pearls. She wrapped it in a package. Ningxu put on a cloak and hid the package in the cloak before going to the kitchen. There were many people busy in the kitchen. Ningxu walked to the stove. Miss, why are you here? The kitchen is very dirty. The cook said. Concubine Lu's heart is palpitating. I'll make a bowl of lotus seed soup for her. I'll do it myself. You guys do your thing. I'll do it myself. Ningxu squatted in front of the stove and stuffed a handful of firewood into it. The cook was a little worried. Ningxu said it's okay. When no one was paying attention, Ningxu stuffed the package into the stove and kept poking at it with a pair of tongs. It was just a pity that these golden threads were all made of gold. Ningxu squatted by the stove and watched the flames burn the clothes. The clothes were slowly burned to ashes. Only when the clothes were completely burned to ashes did Ningxu breathe a sigh of relief. When the lotus seed porridge was ready, Ningxu scooped a bowl of lotus seed porridge and left the kitchen. Ningxu brought the lotus seed porridge to Concubine Lu. Concubine Lu kept walking around the room, looking very impatient. Eat something. Ningxu put down the lotus seed porridge. Concubine Lu said anxiously, I don't know how your father is. My heart is in a mess. I can't calm down. Ningxu said calmly, It's okay. Eat something. Father will be fine. After leaving Concubine Lu's courtyard, Ningxu walked around to see if there was anything strange. He was afraid that the other party had made other preparations. Chapter 1328. As Ningxu wandered around, he ran into the new madam. Seeing Ningxu, the new madam said, Stay in your own courtyard. Don't go anywhere. Don't cause trouble. Ningxu immediately bowed and said yes. He saw that the new madam's brow was filled with worry. She had just married in, and something like this had already happened. Ningxu obediently turned and left. He didn't know what was going on in the palace. They were probably going to convict Lu Yuanfan of rebellion. He didn't know who had complained. It was most likely someone from the general's residence. How long would this mutual harm last? Ningxu had just returned to his room when the new madam's servant girl called Ningxu to the front hall. Not only did Ningxu go, but all the concubines and concubines had gone as well. A man in armor said coldly, His Majesty has ordered us to search the entire Lu residence. All of you stay here, and are not allowed to go out. May I ask what the Lu family has done? The madam asked. The man ignored her and ordered his subordinates, Don't miss a single place. Ningxu held Concubine Lu's hand. Concubine Lu's hand was cold and trembling. Her face was pale, and there was an indescribable panic in her expression. Concubine Lu was a woman born in a small place. After becoming a concubine, she basically didn't go out. It was normal for her to have such a reaction. She was born to depend on Lu Yuanfan. She was more worried than anyone that something had happened to him. The guards rummaged through the Lu residence. They broke all the porcelain and took away some valuable trinkets. In a short while, the Lu residence was in chaos. The room was quiet, and every minute felt unbearable. Ningxu held concubine Lu's hand tightly and leaned against her from behind. He didn't want concubine Lu to fall to the ground. "Sir Lieutenant, we didn't find anything suspicious." A guard walked in, bowed and cupped his hands. The captain frowned. "Have you searched carefully? You can't miss a single place." "We've searched everywhere," the guard said. The captain glanced at the people in the room. He walked out of the front hall and said to the guard, "Did they go to the ancestral hall?" "Yes, he went to the ancestral hall first. We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find anything." "Lieutenant, what should we do now?" The lieutenant gritted his teeth. "Keep looking. But the palace is still waiting for our reply." "Yes, but it's too late now. The embroidered dragon robe wasn't something that could be done in a day or two. Even more so, they couldn't be careless." "Search again. Search for another hour," the lieutenant said. Ningxu saw that the search would not be over for a while, so he asked concubine Lu, who was standing, to quickly sit down. The efficiency was too low. Ningxu leisurely drank a few cups of tea, but did not find anything. Only then did he let the people in the palace report back to the emperor. In the main hall, Lu Yuanfan was kneeling on the ground. Lu Juning was also there. Lu Yuanfan's forehead was covered in cold sweat, which dripped onto the smooth black tiles. He looked at Lu Juning from the corner of his eyes filled with hatred. This daughter of his had colluded with the people from the great general's manor to accuse him of embezzling the army's provisions and hoarding weapons to rebel. They even found a witness to prove that he was buying and selling official titles. Lu Yuanfan was a little afraid that his book would appear in the main hall. Cold sweat flowed into his eyes, making them stinging. Lu Yuanfan didn't dare to wipe them away. The emperor, who was sitting on the throne, looked at him with eyes like steel knives. Lu Yuanfan didn't know if he could get out of the main hall today. If he could get out, who would want such a daughter? "Emperor," the lieutenant searched the entire Lu mansion. "Speak." The emperor's voice was very calm, but it made Lu Yuanfan sweat all over. He was so nervous that his muscles couldn't help but twitch. "Emperor, we found a big box of silver in the Lu mansion." Lu Yuanfan sighed heavily. Lu Juning's expression changed. "Other than silver, there was nothing else?" "No." Lu Juning's expression became a little ugly. Silver was not a problem at all. Only rebellion could make the emperor nervous. Lu Juning's grandfather, the general, shook his head at Lu Juning. This matter couldn't be repeated. Lu Juning's expression was very unwilling. How could it be like this? How could they not find anything? Lu Yuanfan was also a sensible person. He immediately kowtowed and admitted his mistake. He cried bitterly and said that he knew he was wrong, and was willing to accept any punishment. He was as pitiful as he could be. He said that he shouldn't have been blinded by money and be blinded by lard. He was ashamed of the emperor's favor and blah blah blah. In the end, Lu Yuanfan was demoted from a second-rank minister of war to a fourth-rank chancellor of the imperial college. The silver that was found naturally went into the national treasury, and his salary was deducted for 3 years. It was equivalent to 3 years of work in vain. At the same time, he was grounded for half a year, and had to reflect on his mistakes. Lu Yuanfan hurriedly kowtowed and admitted his mistake. It was good enough that he could keep his life. Although he didn't know the process, Lu Yuanfan could guess that there was something taboo in the Lu mansion, but he didn't know why it wasn't found. It was probably his daughter's bad idea. Lu Yuanfan moved his body. His back was full of cold sweat, soaking his underwear. His body was weak, his hands and feet were trembling. He walked in front of the gates of hell. Lu Yuanfan looked at Lu Juning and the old general fiercely. Lu Juning's face was a bit pale. In fact, this time she had already shown her true colors, but she couldn't do anything to Lu Yuanfan. Lu Yuanfan clutched his chest and sat on the sedan chair. His heart ached because he was scared. Lu Yuanfan was really scared to the point of peeing. After Lu Yuanfan came back, the guards at the door also left. Ningxu saw Lu Yuanfan's purple forehead and sighed in relief. At least his head didn't move. A group of people surrounded Lu Yuanfan and cared about him. In the end, Lu Yuanfan's eyes rolled and he fainted. The new madam hurriedly called a doctor. Ning Shu felt that Lu Yuanfan was just scared. It would be better if he woke up. Auntie, let's go back and wait. There are too many people here. We don't want to make trouble. Ning Shu said to concubine Lu, who stretched her neck like a swan. Concubine Lu saw that it was a mess and left reluctantly. Then Lu Juning also returned to the Lu mansion. Lu Juning's face was cold. Ning Shu bowed. Second sister. Is father okay? Lu Juning asked. Ning Shu said indifferently, he's okay. He's probably tired and is sleeping now. Second sister. Why did you come back? Ning Shu asked. Lu Juning. I just came back to get something. Ning Shu was a bit surprised. Then why are you still leaving? Lu Juning went directly to her courtyard, packed some things and left. She didn't even say goodbye to the new madam and Lu Yuanfan. Ning Shu. She left just like that. Lu Juning probably didn't dare to face Lu Yuanfan. Ning Shu felt that this was quite good. If he wasn't under the same roof as Lu Juning, it wouldn't be so easy for him to play any tricks. Chapter 1329. Moreover, would Lu Yuanfan give up after such a huge setback? It all depended on Lu Yuanfan's attitude when he woke up. Lu Yuanfan slept for an entire day before waking up. When he woke up and sat on the bed, he was in a daze. Everyone in the family was shocked. They were afraid that Lu Yuanfan couldn't take the blow. Lu Yuanfan asked his wife to bring the genealogy, and went straight to the clan to cross out the name of his second daughter, Lu Juning. In ancient times, a rebellion would implicate the entire family. The clan agreed without thinking and directly expelled Lu Juning from the Lu family. In other words, Lu Juning was no longer Lu Yuanfan's daughter. Lu Yuanfan felt that since you treated me as your father, you wanted to destroy the Lu family. Rebellion was not breakfast. People would die and their heads would be chopped off. Lu Yuanfan directly cut off the father-daughter relationship with his daughter Lu Juning. Lu Juning could go wherever she wanted. He couldn't be bothered whether she lived or died. He also didn't want to have anything to do with the great general's residence. He remembered this matter. If anything happened to the great general in the future, he would be the first to rush up and step on him. Lu Yuanfan did all these things calmly. He didn't look angry at all. He was probably too disappointed, and felt that there was nothing to be angry about. He didn't want such a deceitful daughter. Ning Shu admired Lu Yuanfan's efficiency. He was very direct and efficient. His daughter didn't want him and he didn't want her. Ning Shu also felt more at ease. Lu Yuanfan was vigilant and wouldn't be so easily schemed against. Other than the Lu family, Lu Juning could only go to the great general's residence. However, Lu Juning didn't even have a name now. Lu Juning's name was no longer her name. Even if she used this name, she was no longer a member of the Lu family. In the past, there was still a loyal male dog. Now, the great general's residence was where Lu Juning lived peacefully. However, after this incident, the Lu family and the great general's residence were on opposite sides. The two families went from being connected by marriage to enemies. Ning Shu didn't think that Lu Juning could have a good life in the great general's residence. Someone who could even deal with her own father, the great general's residence would definitely be on guard against her. It was impossible for her to return to the Lu family. She couldn't even enter the Lu family's door. Lu Yuanfan was demoted and grounded. He didn't get a salary for 3 years. The imperial edict had been issued. It was obviously not a good thing, but Lu Yuanfan still had to place the imperial edict in the ancestral hall. It would be shameful if the later generations saw this. It was not a great achievement, but a fine. Lu Yuanfan's heart was indescribably complicated. However, after that, it was rumored that Lu Juning had lost her virginity. It was rumored that she and Prince Chun, Chunichen, had been intimate when they were in Tiantai Temple. Lu Yuanfan wanted to discuss the great general's mansion by keeping a girl who had lost her virginity in their home. This is the granddaughter of your great general's residence, shameless, blah blah. In any case, Lu Juning was no longer the daughter of the Lu family. She wouldn't lose face for the Lu family. Ning Shu was speechless. Lu Yuanfan was really vengeful. When the news that Lu Juning had lost her virginity to Prince Chun spread out, The people of the general's mansion wanted to marry Lu Juning to Prince Chen. Of course, Lu Juning was unwilling. Lu Mingxian was still in Prince Chen's mansion. She didn't want to be suppressed by Lu Mingxian. The general's mansion intended to give her to Chen Yichen as a concubine, but she had her own pride and couldn't face Chen Yichen in that situation. The people of the general's mansion had no choice. Since she didn't want to be a concubine, she had to be the wife. The general's mansion arranged a marriage for Lu Juning, but the husband's family was far away from the capital city, and that family didn't know about the loss of her virginity. She wanted to marry far away. Lu Juning was very angry and sad that the people of the general's mansion treated her like this, and arranged a marriage for her without her permission. If she married to another province, how could she take revenge on the third prince Shen Hao and Lu Mingxian? But on the day of the wedding, Lu Juning was almost forced into the bridal sedan chair. The general's mansion also sent a group of soldiers to follow Lu Juning to prevent her from escaping. Lu Juning, who was sitting in the bridal sedan chair, couldn't figure out why things had turned out like this. Why did her grandparents, who had been so good to her, treat her like this? She got married so inexplicably and so far away. Even if the family was a local noble, Lu Juning didn't want to marry. She couldn't be reconciled without taking revenge. Then what was the point of her rebirth? Shen Hao, the man who killed his wife and son, was still alive and kicking, enjoying glory and wealth, and competing for the throne. Lu Juning couldn't accept it. When Lu Juning got married, Ning Shu even stood on the side of the street to send her off. Some things were either white or black. The general's mansion was such a big family, with a son and an unmarried daughter. Lu Juning's influence in the general's mansion wasn't very good. Moreover, the husband the general's mansion chose for Lu Juning was quite good. He was a local noble, far away from the emperor, and his life would definitely be good. He just didn't know if Lu Juning could get over the hurdle in her heart. If it was always like this, Lu Juning's life after marrying over wouldn't be too good. If she still insisted on taking revenge, she would definitely end up with nothing. How a person's life was didn't depend on others, but also their own attitude towards life. In any case, Lu Juning had already married far away. If there weren't any special circumstances, they probably wouldn't meet again in this lifetime. Ning Shu let out a long sigh of relief. In his previous life, Lu Juning and Chen Yichen only envied Mandarin ducks and not immortals, but now the couple had fallen apart. Feelings were very fragile, and could only be maintained carefully. The slightest carelessness could cause it to break. Ding, quest completed. Do you wish to leave the quest world? 2333's voice sounded. Ning Shu nodded, leave. Unfortunately, he didn't encounter the world's origin in this world. But wandering around such a small place, how could he encounter the world's origin? Ning Shu's head was dizzy for a moment, and he returned to the system space. Ning Shu lay on the sofa, opened the attribute panel, and looked at the harvest this time. Name, Ning Shu. Age, 27 points, 72 million soul, 340 health, 131 wisdom, 394 charm, 50 luck, 259 spiritual power, 290 faith, 24515 force, 422 aptitude, 169 merit, 13,870 plus 3,000 skills, 5th ring shooting technique, intermediate fighting technique, exceptional martial arts, intermediate poison technique, beginner business management knowledge, beginner code programming, beginner lawyer skills, beginner ghost catching skills. Honorary titles: Goddess of War, selfless ancestor items, Calm Aura, calming pill. Faith Aura, Amulet 4, upgraded amulet plus 2 aura. Mother of the World, Queen's Blessing, Sister Model Worker, Chunxi's Blessing, Leader Aura, Grass Blessing, Best Friend for a Lifetime, Meow Meow Meow's Blessing, Life-Saving Hand, Zhu Susu's Blessing, Founding Female General, Chen Ermiai's Blessing, Lawful Beauty, Chen Ning's Blessing, Transcending Race Communication, by San Yang's Blessing, Wisdom, by San Yang's Blessing. Chapter 1330. Complete Lu Yueyun's mission. Don't be set up. Don't marry the eldest son of the Marquis. Mission completion rate: 100%. Mission reward: 8 million points, 80 attribute points, 2,000 faith power. Ningxu looked at the reward. It was not bad. 8 million points, 80 attribute points, and 2,000 faith power were accumulated in the previous world. After all, merit was not so easy to obtain. Moreover, what merit could be obtained from scheming in a house? It was a pity that women could not leave the house. If these women were in the modern world, they would definitely live a bright and beautiful life. They wore fashionable clothes and had beautiful makeup. When they turned around, they were full of beauty and confidence. Ningxu distributed the attribute points. This time there were more attribute points. Ningxu very willfully added all the attribute points. Name, Ningxu. Age, 27 points. 72 million plus 8, 000 000 soul. 340 plus 10 HP. 131 plus 10 wisdom. 394 plus 10 charm. 50 plus 10 luck. 259 plus 10 spirit. 290 plus 10 faith. 24,515 plus 2, 000 martial strength. 422 plus 10 aptitude. 169 plus 10 merit. 13,870 plus 3, 000 skills. Fifth ring shooting technique, intermediate combat technique, exceptional martial arts proficiency, intermediate poison technique, elementary business management knowledge, elementary code programming, elementary lawyer skills, elementary ghost catching skill. Honorary titles: Goddess of War, Selfless Ancestor items, Calm Aura, Tranquil Pill, Faith Aura, Amulet 4, Upgraded Amulet plus 2 Aura. Mother of the World, Queen's Blessing, Model Worker, Chunshi's Blessing, Leader Aura, Grass Blessing, Lifelong Friend, Meow Meow Meow's Blessing, Life-Saving Hand, Zhu Susu's Blessing, Founding Female General, Chun Ermiai's Blessing, Lawful Beauty, Chun Ning's Blessing, Transcending Race Communication, by San Yang's Blessing. Ningxu closed the attribute panel. He sat cross-legged on the sofa and began to cultivate. He absorbed the pure soul energy in the space. After he finished cultivating, Ningxu asked, I feel that the soul power this time is much stronger than last time. Is it the soul power of those mission enforcers who were killed? I think so. But it's probably just your imagination. Although the soul power of intermediate and advanced mission takers is strong, it's basically nothing to you. 2333 said. Ningxu rolled his eyes. Are we clearing out intermediate and advanced mission enforcers this time? They're even willing to part with high-level mission enforcers? Ningxu was a little surprised. To be able to become a high-level mission enforcer, he must have experienced many worlds. How could he just erase him like that? How could he bear to do that? We've also killed a few high-ranked mission enforcers, but most of them were middle-ranked mission enforcers. 2333 said, Fortunately, we are fine this time. Otherwise, you would have become pure soul energy. Ningxu, motherfucker, did he think that everything would be fine just because he had the amulet? How could such a thing happen? The feeling of having his life in someone else's hands was really terrible. He had to build the world as soon as possible, but he still lacked a few world sources. Ningxu heaved a sigh of relief. She had to work harder. The world was full of competition. He had to strive to control his own destiny as soon as possible. He had already reached this step. If he continued to climb forward, he would succeed. Ningxu hugged his head and screamed twice. He jumped twice with all his might. He jumped high on the sofa and instantly felt much better. 2333 Crazy old woman. Ningxu sat cross-legged on the sofa and clicked on the screen to see Lu Yueyun's situation after she returned. Lu Yueyun was a typical ancient person. Her days after returning didn't change much. She embroidered every day, waiting to get married and have children. Occasionally, she would study the medical books that Ningxu had left behind. Her days were peaceful. Ningxu swiped his finger and the screen turned to another place. In the screen was Lu Juning. Lu Juning was in a room, looking tired and unwilling. And her husband was with his concubine. Lu Juning didn't care. She hadn't even married Chen. How could she be interested in such a man, especially one with multiple wives? Lu Juning only hated that she couldn't cut Shen Hao into pieces. Her face was gloomy all day. Also, Lu Juning's husband found out that Lu Juning wasn't a virgin on the wedding night. He was unhappy and turned around to find his concubine. Lu Juning's expression was cold. Her hands were clenched tightly. Ningxu couldn't help but wipe his face. How much did she feel? She was already so miserable in her previous life. She still had to make herself miserable in this life. She was the most miserable and wronged person in the world. No one understood her pain. There were many people who had a hard life. He should have thrown Lu Juning to Planet Satyr. Ningxu turned off the screen. With Lu Juning's personality and her deep hatred, it was all thanks to Chen that she could live a happy life. Ningxu pulled out a book from the bookshelf and started reading. He thought of something and asked 2333. The screening this time is over. When will the next screening be? Ningxu wanted to know if he had enough time to find the origin of the world. If she was erased, her soul would be scattered, and she wouldn't even have an afterlife. That's not clear. Maybe decades, centuries, or even millennia are possible. This screening is a warning to those who are still alive that they must work hard to complete the mission. 2333 said. Once the mission fails too many times and repeatedly hurts the plane, the higher-ups may fire some people. The rules for firing are different every time. Ningxu was so scared that the book in his arms fell to the ground. Damn, how could he live? Ningxu's face was expressionless. Why are those people so stubborn? Since it's to protect the plane, of course, everything is based on the plane. Those who are weak can only be erased. It's not a charity that gives you so much care and love. 2333 said. Ningxu was speechless. Since she couldn't change the rules with her current ability, she could only adapt to the rules. When she transcended the rules, these rules would no longer be able to do anything to her. At that time, she must stand at the top of the Forbidden City and laugh to the sky. Who else but her? But that day was a little far away. Ningxu felt his blood boil just thinking about it, as if he had been injected with chicken blood. She was fated to die young, became a mission enforcer, and finally became the master of the world. Just thinking about it made her feel great. She walked to the peak of life and married a tall, rich, and handsome man. Forget about tall, rich, and handsome men, they were not as good as her. But if they were better than her, damn, no one would be allowed to control her. Ningxu stood on the sofa, standing on one leg and practicing spiritual power. Practicing spiritual power was a very tiring thing. Ningxu persisted for a while and felt exhausted and dizzy. Ningxu lay on the sofa and rested for a while before he felt better. The use of spiritual power was very difficult. Ningxu rested for a while and continued to practice. She added so many attribute points to spiritual power. She couldn't waste it like this. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.